Hello, everybody, and welcome to FireStar Tarot. I'm Empress Egypt, and welcome. All right. So I know this is kind of a late video, you guys. Normally I don't hop on this late. So when I do hop on this late, every now and then there's some spam in the comments, you guys. So just kind of deal with it. Bear with me. If you guys want to report it, you can if you do see it, okay? Usually YouTube's pretty good about stopping it before it comes through, though, okay? With that being said, you guys, we're going to be tapping into you as a individual, you as a person, okay? We're going to be taking a look at just the blockages that you face when it comes to creativity. We're going to take a look at what it is that is stopping you from progressing, okay? Maybe this is going to help you when it is pertaining to someone that you're caught up on that you can't release. Maybe it has to do with your job. You should be able to apply it to basically just about anything in your life because, again, it's the blockages within your mind, the blockages within yourself, okay? So those self-restraints. I'm going to be using the, I believe this is the, what is the name of this deck? Jeez Louise. Mystic Monday, I believe. Don't judge me if I'm wrong, okay? I have quite a few decks, and it's hard for me to remember the names of them, you guys. Either way, we're going to be tapping into your lifetime, not your lifetime, but kind of like the lifetime of your expansion, okay? So it's not necessarily going to be like a predicting your future type of event, but what it's going to tap into, it's going to tap into the energy of the blockages that you have, okay? So we're going to excuse me, you guys. It's late at night, so I'm not used to being on this late, okay? But we are going to just tap into just what's going on with your expansion process, okay? We're going to see where your blockages are at, what's really stopping you from progressing and just, you know, creating issues, barriers, blockages, challenges, hurdles, all that bullshit, okay? So in a nutshell, you guys, this is a shadow reading, okay? This is a self-shadow reading. I didn't put that in the title, though, but trust me, it's going to be a shadow work reading because we're going to be, again, facing those challenges, those problems, okay? First card up, we do have the Three of Wands in reverse. We also have the Three of Swords, as well as the Princess of Cups in reverse. We also have the Hierophant. Quite a few cards came out, but I'm taking them, okay? We also have the Magician. Beautiful energy right here, okay? As well as the Six of Cups in reverse. Very interesting. So I do see right off the bat, just with these cards, that there's definitely some sadness and heartbreak that is creating a lot of stagnation in your growth process, okay? That's pretty common, pretty normal. Typically, that's what tends to happen, okay? It's usually somebody that you're thinking of that distracts you from the things that you're supposed to be doing, okay? Actually, this is quite enough cards. I wanted 6 cards, and 6 cards are here, okay? We're going to be clarifying all of these cards and breaking them down, as well as looking at what positive attributes you have to be able to defeat this blockage, okay? My readings here lately have been about 2 hours long, you guys, so just kind of bear with me, but ultimately you will learn a lot and gain something from this reading, okay? King of Swords energy at the bottom of the deck is telling me that someone is taking action. I do feel like someone has taken action, and what I mean by that is your energy has taken action, okay? So whether it's the feminine energy within you or the masculine energy, I do feel like there's this action being taken to the way you think, okay? This is going to be the grounding energy here. So in other words, everything that we're about to explain, or I'm about to explain, is going to be based off of the way you think, okay? So let's start with the Three of Wands in reverse, you guys. Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Wands usually is an energy. First, it's important to understand that threes are a new beginning, right? Threes are about the actual adventure that is taken, okay? So there's something stopping you when it comes to your creative jump, right? There's something blocking your creative. Again, we're going to break it all down and find out exactly what it is, but ultimately there's something stopping you from being creative, okay? It's not that it's stopping you from being creative, it's just that there's something in the way that you're thinking that is creating a blockage when it comes to actually starting something that you've thought about creating, okay? So it's not that you don't have the creative energy in you because you have this Three of Wands here. It's the simple fact that there's something in the way that you're thinking because, again, the King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck here. So it's the way you're thinking here. Ironically, though, even though there's something blocking you in the way you think, it's interesting because the King of Swords is still grounding this whole energy reading here, okay? So what that's saying is that no matter what, you have the ability and the power to be able to think clearly, okay? But something's blocking you here, and we're going to find out what it is. And again, so it's something that has to do with the way that you're thinking that is actually stopping you from taking that step to creating something new. We also have the Three of Swords energy, okay? Again, with the sword suit, this is all your mental state. Hello, Johnny. How are you? Hey. Sorry, I've been extremely busy, okay? I promise you I will reach out to you, okay? Just give me some time. I've been like doing readings one after another, including personal readings. I have not had any time to sit still, seriously. But anyways, you guys, the Three of Swords, okay? This Three of Swords energy is definitely this feeling of sorrow, okay? So this is heartache. This is the way you're thinking about this heartbreak, period, okay? So clearly this is one of your blockages. Princess of Cups in reverse. This is also telling me that there's this feminine energy that's coming through in this reading. It could be because I might have a couple of masculines on, and so I'm picking up on this energy, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's a feminine energy that is in separation here, okay? So it's either the thought of you not having a spouse or the fact or a counterpart, or even just not having love in your life in the way that you want it. Again, a strong emphasis on illusions, though, within this separation of love. Does that make sense? Now, since this is a self-reading, we are going to have to clarify because this might not actually be a physical feminine energy. And remember, because we do all possess masculine and feminine energy, this is not saying that I'm referring to an actual female. Yes, it can be, but it can also be a male in the feminine energy. Well, also, too, in the reverse is telling me that there's an unbalancing with this person, or at least from your point of view, okay? So even if this is the feminine energy within you, or if this is someone that has caused you to feel this way, ultimately this is a feminine energy coming through, okay? Again, though, this feminine energy is in reverse. So there's a disconnect, there's a disunion, period, okay? We also have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about you being open-minded. It is coming through in the reverse, though. So this is telling me that there's something that you're still being closed-minded about. I feel like there's a part of you, and again, trigger warnings right off the bat, okay? Because I'm going to say things that may hurt your feelings, and you may not even understand what the hell I'm talking about, okay? Or you may have that kind of rejection to it, because usually being told something that is a flaw is very hard to accept. So I totally understand it. Please don't hate the messenger. But ultimately, this energy of the High Priestess in reverse is being closed-minded. This is thinking that you know it all and not willing to open your mind and take in different views, different options, different perspectives, different feelings, people's, different energies. So ultimately there's a blockage here, okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be in everything that you do, but remember, we're looking at blockages. We're looking at what is blocking you from expanding, okay? So this is a shadow work reading. So ultimately it's going to bring out all those areas within your shadows that you do need to face. Again, with this Hierophant energy in reverse, this is literally closing your mind off. It's like you don't want to expand. And I'm not saying that you don't want to expand like financially or in growth or in wealth, but what I'm saying is there's something here that has you feeling like there's nothing else you can really learn, maybe in a particular, part of your life, okay? We also have the Magician coming through. I absolutely love this energy. Okay, I'm having a problem speaking here. I do feel like, honestly, there's something going on with the way you communicate. And I'm not talking about communicating with people, but the way you communicate with yourself here. I feel like sometimes you don't even trust all of your thoughts. I don't know why I had to say that, but it feels like there's uncertainty with the way you think. And I hope it's not because of what I just said. But I mean, either way, the grounding energy at the bottom of the deck with the King of Swords energy, this is you understanding how to use that power of thought, but still there's something that's going on within the way you think here, okay? But the Magician energy, this energy is absolutely amazing, okay? It's like you don't understand your full capability. It's like when you look in the mirror, yes, you may say, hey, you're a good person. You may say, dang, I'm a sexy, MF or whatever. Mofo, whatever you want to say, or what, hey, I look good, I feel good, I'm a good person. Hey, Lucky, no, stop with the couch. Sorry, you guys, my cats run amok at night. I only have two, but they're terrible. This Magician energy, again, it's this energy of I feel like even though you tell yourself you're valuable, I feel like you don't fully believe it, okay? And this is just the energy I'm picking up on here. But with this Magician coming through, you guys, it's important to understand You do have the power to create whatever it is that you want. This is why you are successful in certain areas without even trying. And I'm not saying that you don't try. I'm just saying it's like things, it's not that things just land on your lap, but ultimately things do. I feel like things do and you don't realize it. I feel like, again, you manifest things, but because there's a part of you that doesn't fully believe yourself, like you can't believe it, that you're that powerful or you're that successful or that you could be that successful. There's this doubt, this self-doubt. Ultimately, this energy is still coming through you guys. You can manifest, okay? You have the power of understanding what it is to be creative, what it is to be driven after the things that you're creative, or the things that entice you, or the things that intrigue you, the things you yearn for, want, right, need, desire. You get what I'm saying? I also feel like you know what it takes in here. You know how to organize and methodically plan, right? You also know how to use it practically, right? And I feel like you're one of these people that you don't talk down on anybody. You understand the power of words, okay? This is the energy I'm picking up on. If it's your story, it's your story. If it's not, it's not, okay? Six of Cups energy, though, in reverse. There's something from your past, from childhood, okay? The Six of Cups energy is usually a soulmate connection, but when we're talking about self, the Six of Cups energy is this self-love, and there's an unbalancing when it comes to self-love, okay? Usually when I see this card in a self reading and a shadow work reading, it is telling me that there is some form of a childhood drama, right? So, or trauma, whether this was abandonment, a lack of a person in the home, maybe just seeing your parents fight a lot. Everybody's going to have different situations and different equations. So ultimately, it's just knowing that there may have been a broken home. And it could have been just something as far as two parents working their asses off and never being a part of their kid's life. So it's not that it's a broken home in the concept of, oh my God, it was violence, it was terrible, it was evil. It's just that sometimes the littlest things can create problems. I use a lot of examples in my readings because I think it's important. One of the issues that I had to face as childhood trauma, and for the longest time, I didn't understand why I had a fear of a lot of people, okay? Yes, I can do movie theaters, but grocery stores, malls where there's a lot of people, I get very agitated. I can't be around it. One is because I pick up on energies, so I just feel very uncomfortable. But two, I had to do a little bit more work on it. I had to kind of go back to when I was a child and figure out why I had this fear of being around crowds. And actually, I didn't find the answer. It was my sister, my older sister, who was like, well, you don't remember all the times that you got lost in the grocery store? I was like, what are you talking about? Because over here in Houston, I grew up in Houston. So we have stores called Fiesta, which is like where you can get all types of Hispanic, Spanish, Puerto Rican, like basically any type of, Latin, any type of food, basically, okay? So back in my days when I was a little girl, it was a very, very, very popular, very busy store, very similar to Walmart on a busy day, right? So lots of people, probably more than Walmart, honestly, just like a really crowded area, right? And I guess I would just lift up my hand from the cart, and the next thing you know, I would put my hand on another cart, and I was with another family traveling the whole store. And by the time I actually paid attention and looked up, I panicked, right? So I didn't know these things, but when she told me them, it started to trigger things. I was like, you know what? I finally remember these stories. And then I remembered that my parents, I was one of those kids, and I don't even know why. I guess I was just spaced out or something. I don't know. But I was one of those kids that had that stupid bracelet, like the leash. I was one of those kids, okay? Yes. So I had issues. But that's my point with this energy. I'm not trying to make light of it. I mean, I am, because it's funny to me, because this whole time I had this huge fear, right? This childhood trauma that had nothing to do with anything seriously bad. It was just that as a kid, I guess I was probably embarrassed, is what I'm thinking, that I had to be on a leash. So without even facing it, I carried it throughout life. Does that make sense, you guys? So this card right here, it's important to understand that it can be something extremely simple. It doesn't have to be something like, again, alcoholism or, physical abuse but now I'm not saying that bad things haven't happened or that bad things haven't contributed to this. But ultimately, I just wanted to explain to you that you don't have to get scared when you hear this or see a card like this in a personal reading, okay? But what this is telling me is that there is something from your past that has created some type of blockages from a youthful age, okay? All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this reading. Obviously, I know that was kind of a lot, but now we're going to really break down these things and find out exactly what's going on with all of these situations, okay? I got bored with using the same old cards over and over again, so I'm going to go back to the Wild Unknown deck, one of my favorite decks. It is an older deck, you guys, but it's a very flexible deck. It's one of my favorite decks. I used to use it all the time, okay? So I'm just changing it up. We're not going to use the Hermetic deck here. We're going to use this deck. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify what's going on with this Three of Wands energy here, okay? So remember, this Three of Wands energy is telling me that, again, remember, grounding energy with all of these cards, okay, is going to have to do with the things that you're thinking here. Now, also, too, remember, with the Knight of Swords energy in the upright, this is a positive way of thinking, though. In other words, the positive way that you think, this is the issues within the actual, it's like your blockages, you don't see them, right? So this is where it's going to be very hard to understand. But ultimately, the way you think, okay, the way that you think you're right, this is the best way to say it. The way you're thinking that you think when you're right, that's what this is, okay? So it's saying that, yes, this is a positive energy. This is you taking action when it comes to your thoughts. But again, this is the grounding energy. So understand that when we're tapping into these blockages, it's in the way that you're thinking. So you think you're right? You think that you're taking the right action when it comes to your thoughts, but ultimately, these are all the blockages within the things that you're thinking are right, okay? Okay. All right, so Spirit, show me what I need to see when it comes to this Three of Wands. Again, this is the way you're thinking, okay, when it comes to creativeness, okay? So the things that you want, the things that you need, the things you yearn for, the things you desire, right? The things that you want to create, right? That creative spark in you, the part of you that creates that drive, that ambition, that fiery feeling inside. You know, when you get that wild hair up your ass and you're like, man, it would really be nice to do this, right? Or it would be really nice to do that. Ultimately, that's this energy, okay? So you can apply that energy to work, to love, to relationships, friends, experiencing life, travel, whatever, work, okay? You get the point. So let's clarify and find out exactly what it is. Okay, actually, a few cards already flipped over. Okay, interesting. So we do have the Two of Pentacles coming through. The Two of Pentacles is telling me that it's interesting because if things don't work out, I feel like, honestly, it's like when you start something new in a creative line, right? So whatever it is that you choose, if you're going to talk about love, if you're going to talk about work, whatever, okay? Ultimately, when you start this creative journey, okay, the creative beginning here, excuse me, it's like, because things are very balanced for you, things are very easy, whether it's bad. I'm not saying that it doesn't bother you. I'm not saying that you don't have pain. I'm not saying, but I feel like there's this energy of just kind of keeping it suppressed, right? Not really dealing with these emotions. I feel like it creates this balanced energy with you because, again, you're not overreacting to situations like if you don't get a job or if love doesn't work out. I feel like you don't really express it. You just kind of keep it in. So if you do express it, it's because it's been suppressed for so long that ultimately, eventually, it comes out, whether it's through alcohol, maybe even drug preference, maybe yelling, maybe crying on your couch for 2 weeks. Yeah, I did that, okay? My point is that ultimately, this balancing act that you're doing when it comes to whether it's a good or bad thing, okay, it doesn't matter. It's basically pointless what side you're looking at, negative or positive, because ultimately it's the fact that it's like you almost ride the wave perfectly and you forget to experience the ups and downs. So I feel like there's something within that. It's like, I feel like, honestly, the reason you actually don't take that step forward on a new journey is because you feel like if you step outside of that box, you're going to be unbalanced. Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain it to you in the easiest way I can, okay? So again, I feel like this is really stopping you from taking that step forward, again, because it's going to get you outside of your comfort zone. It's going to get you outside of that box, and it's going to ultimately have you feeling unbalanced. You like being balanced in this energy, right? This is what's stopping you from moving forward, is that comfort level, right? That comfort zone. Interesting, we also have the Three of Wands coming through, okay? Three of Wands energy. Interesting, 2 3s right off the bat, okay? So I really, and this is another Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is being clarified with the Three of Wands. Okay, so this is a strong emphasis on, it's like you're back and forth with taking this step forward when it comes to this new creation, okay? And again, it's your thoughts. It's you trying to balance out, should you go or should you not go? Basically, trying to make the choice is what's stopping you. Does that make sense? Because remember, 2s are about choices, okay? The 2 choices before starting a new journey here. You have the 2 and you have 2 3s, okay? So again, it's the choices of, do you not take this new journey or do you? Make sense? Son of Wands. I feel like honestly that's just because there's a little immaturity here when it comes to understanding what that creation is, understanding what that passionate spark is, okay? We also have the Sun though. So I feel like honestly, the main thing that has you even wanting to take this step forward is the fact that you know there'll be happiness at the end of this decision, right? So ultimately, what even has you choosing something better is this feeling of wanting more, wanting happiness, wanting growth, right? So again, you have the choice to make. Do you take a new path or do you stay where you're at? Do you stay where you feel comfortable, balanced, able to deal with things even though you may suppress some of those emotions? Or do you take that step forward, start a new journey towards the happiness that you crave, okay? Or do you not? It's this energy, right? It's that energy of back and forth. Do you take that step forward or do you not? That's your blockage when it comes to your creative spark. The reason if you're sitting there on your couch saying, wow, Hierophant on the bottom of the deck too. You guys, it's important to understand, anytime I see the Hierophant, especially twice in a reading, I'm picking up on my own energy because I am a Taurus sun, so the Hierophant is the Taurus energy, okay? So I'm coming through in this reading, but ultimately this is telling me that this has to do with that learning experience and being open-minded to new things. I feel like honestly already from the beginning of this read, it's like you're afraid to take that step forward because again, it takes you out of this comfort zone, right? But you know you want happiness. You just can't make that decision to finally take that step forward because you don't really know what's on the other side, right? You don't really know what is to come. Interesting though, this is what's creating that closed-mindedness, right? Because you're not taking that step forward, you're never finding out, right? You're just basically creating stagnation. It's like you're dragging your feet. Ultimately, the decision will be made, okay? If you sit on your ass, and I say that in the most nicest way, okay? I don't mean like literally just, I'm saying if you stop yourself from progressing because you're afraid to take that step forward, you're procrastinating. You're being stagnant because of fear, right? I can't believe I don't see a 7 yet telling me fear, right? Problems. I just feel like, honestly, this isn't a bad thing because I just feel like it's this energy of just not knowing, you know? It's like you don't realize that the one thing that's actually stopping you is you doubting yourself, okay? You doubting what choice you should make. Wow. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, I do feel like, honestly, I feel like you're afraid because you're afraid you're going to lose, straight up. It's like you're afraid that either if you invest into this, whether you invest in this emotionally, physically, financially, it's the fear of losing that, right? But it's almost like you're willing, it's like you're back and forth. 1 minute you're willing to lose it all, and you're willing to put it all out on the line because you want this happiness and you crave this happiness so much. But again, it's in the reverse. So you feel like you're going to lose it. You feel like you're going to lose everything. And so ultimately you don't take that step forward. Why is the 3 of Swords here, Spirit? A lot of people ask me, who is Spirit? Who is Spirit? You guys, the Holy Spirit, okay? Your soul, right? Your downloads, divine, okay? I don't seek spirit. When I say spirits, I'm not talking about ghosts, goblins in the night, okay? Somebody actually thought that's what it was, and so I had to clarify because I thought it was cute. It was really cute. She was like, so like, what spirits are you talking to? Like, is it ghosts? Like, are they like scary? And I'm like, no, it's not like that. Like, it's downloads. It's not. It's energy. It's felt. It's not. I see a ghost, and this ghost tells me things. Like that's the taboo. Okay. Not saying that some people don't experience that. I'm just saying it's not. I'm an intuitive. I'm a light worker. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Yeah. We can get what I'm saying. Okay. Let me get back to this. So I'm clarifying what's going on here with the Three of Swords, right? The Three of Swords is you thinking about heartbreak. This is you thinking about sorrow, being really caught up in some form of emotions, okay? Usually when I see the Three of Swords, this is usually because somebody's walked away, somebody's cheated on you, somebody's left you feeling abandoned, heartbroken. This can also be family. It does not have to be an intimate partner. This can be many, many things. So obviously we're clarifying here, right? So clarifying with the Four of Cups, okay? Four of Cups in reverse is someone who, and this is you, okay? So this, and again, it's not that this is you, but this is your blockages. So this is something, again, that you think in your head, okay? This isn't the actual practical behind it. This is the way you're thinking it is, okay? But ultimately, you're caught up in your head about some type of sadness, grief, loss, betrayal, deceit, right? Somebody who's really hurt you here. You're thinking about this a lot, right? This is double swords here, double swords energy. Okay. It's with the Four of Cups energy in the reverse. This is telling me that there was some form of someone being greedy. So this is something you think about a lot here. And it's got you, this is what has you really depressed, okay, or really sad. Or when you do cry, when you do feel like nothing's getting done because there's something you can't stop thinking about that has you feeling sad. Okay, so whether this is a person, a job you lost, ultimately it's something that you think about a lot that makes you extremely sad here. Okay, whatever this was, it was somebody that was either very greedy or someone who left you feeling like they took everything from you. This is being greedy. This is being greedy when it comes to emotions. This is being controlling when it comes to emotions. So I feel like, honestly, what Spirit's saying here, okay, because the devil energy is coming through too, okay? Again, trigger warning, you guys. I'm not trying to piss you off. I just want you to grow as an individual and expand. And in order to expand, you have to face these shadows, these dark areas, okay? Remember when I talk about the devil energy, Capricorn energy coming through as well? You may have Capricorn in your chart. If not, it's just the energy, okay? Capricorns are very grounded, but unfortunately on the negative side, because remember, the duality, right? The alchemy is that there's always negative and positive, and it's always a balancing act. So there's always even positive within the devil, within addiction, right? The beating addiction would be the positive side, okay? The being caught up in the addiction would be the negative side, okay? So the devil is in the upright here. The devil in the upright is telling you there's addictions. Devil in reverse is going to tell you that you've kicked those addictions, okay? So in the upright, this is telling me that this is an issue. This is something that is really holding you back from progressing, okay? What Spirit's saying is that ultimately your addiction is within the way you're thinking about this love that has you extremely sad here, okay? You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? I do feel like it's a person, okay? And I'm not saying that this greedy part is because this person was greedy with you. What I'm saying is that, again, trigger warning. I'm telling you that the addiction that you have is the controlling thoughts over this sadness, over this emotion that has you feeling lost, right? This is your way of thinking that has you thinking this way. Does that make sense? So it is an addiction, because ultimately it's almost like an obsession. You're constantly thinking about the pain that this person has caused you. You're consumed with maybe the fact that this person left. Maybe you lost everything. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you lost your home. The Three of Swords is not just one thing. This is many things, three to be specific, that are really emotionally disturbing, depressing. They have you feeling like curled up in a ball wanting to cry, even if you're standing and walking around and acting like everything's fine. Makes sense? So ultimately, because you're thinking of that and it has you in that energy of being that sad, this is why you're being greedy and hoarding those emotions. Yes, I know it's not as easy said as done, right? Ultimately, and we're going to clarify, and I'm going to give you guys ways to be able to face these issues, okay? So I don't want you to think that I'm just going to give you just the shadows of your life. I'm going to also bring in some positive light, of course, and finish off with light on top of all of these, okay? But ultimately, the addiction is the way that you're thinking about these emotions, okay? So, I mean, clearly you're going to have to kick the way you're thinking about these emotions. You're going to have to consume some of your thoughts with something else, right? Get rid of one thing, replace it with something else. Or if not, at least attach something else to it in a positive way to balance it out, okay? Most people think that when I say to replace your thoughts, that I'm saying, okay, you have to forget this heartache, forget these problems, and just dust it under the rug and move forward. No, not at all. You have to learn how to say, okay, this thought has me really fucked up in my head. This one thought has me really fucked up in my head. Every time I hear this song, every time I see this word, whatever the fuck it is, right? You have it in your head, and every time this happens, it gets you right back into those emotions of feeling like you're never going to have love. You know, when you start feeling like shit, like when you start feeling sad that you're never going to have that person, okay? That emotion right there does not need to go away. It needs to be the fuel, and you need to balance it a little bit. You need to bring something in positive, okay? So whatever it is that has you feeling emotional over that, right, this one thing, when that one thing hits you and it's like, okay, so say it's the word blue, right? I know it's just bullshit, but just say the color blue is what triggers you to get emotional, okay? Maybe it's a certain person's name. I'm going to use the color blue, okay? So you see the color blue or you hear the color blue and automatically you get back into that, I'm never going to find love. This person doesn't love me. Are they going to come back to me? You know, that kind of energy, right? So automatically that's that triggering word for you, or it's that triggering song, or something is triggering you to think about this individual or to think about this pain and this sorrow, losing a job, whatever it is, okay? So ultimately you have to say, okay, if I know that this is what's triggering me, and I know I think about this thing or this person or whatever it is, I need to find something positive that I can replace. And if not, at least replace, at least match it, okay? So maybe you can find something within that same situation that was a positive for you. You know, whether it was you finally saying, you know what, I deserve better and I want stability, or whether it was this person talked down on you and made you feel low or something, or made, you know, saying everybody's going to have a different thing, but ultimately you need to find something that you can say, okay, but because of the negatives in this relationship that have me feeling really fucked up and sad, like I'm not worthy, I also learned that I want this, I deserve this. So then that, what you deserve, kind of balances out that negative, right? So that at least you're not in this trapped sorrow. Make sense? Princess of Cups energy, okay? Princess of Cups energy, again, I do feel like this is the feminine energy within you, okay? Because remember, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. And of course, just like with the balancing of the negative and positive situation here, same thing with your masculine and feminine energy, okay? Now, this can also be a person that's coming through in the reading, so clearly we're going to clarify and find out exactly what it is, all right? Spirit, why is the Princess of Cups here in reverse? Ultimately, though, there is a disunion when it comes to love. There is a disunion when it comes to feminine energy and love, period. Emotions, okay? Spirit, why is the Princess of Cups here? And don't forget, you guys, my chats are open so you guys can chat with me. If you have any questions pertaining to the reading, I'll answer them. Or if you need me to clarify something more in detail, just let me know. That's what these readings are for, okay? There will not be any extendeds to these readings because these readings have been so long, okay? I'm kind of just going to get rid of extendeds. And if you guys want to donate to my channel, you totally can. My PayPal link is in the description box down below. All donations are greatly appreciated. I do work from home, you guys, so every dollar helps my situation, okay? Let's see, though. I do feel like, honestly, I'm feeling like this is a person, and I feel like it's the same person that's created this Three of Swords energy, okay? That's way too many cards. I will take them into consideration, though, okay? Wow. Wow, yeah, it's a female. Or a masculine, a male. Again, it could be a male in their feminine energy, okay? But this is someone who you feel is your counterpart. This is someone who you wanted a new beginning with and you didn't get it. Okay, this is somebody that you feel like your dreams were crushed, your hopes were crushed here, love was cut off. Okay, so this is a person. And interesting enough, this person's in the middle of your read. So very quickly, this turned into not a love reading, but focused, center focused on love, okay? Ace of Cups energy in the reverse, you guys. There is a lack of love here, okay? There is no love right now. You feel no love from this feminine energy. You feel no love from your counterpart, okay? Because again, I don't want to say feminine because I know I have a lot of feminines watching this video. Ultimately, you feel no love from your counterpart. You feel like this person is the center of your world and they're your counterpart. They're your person. There's no love. Like, you don't feel the love. Whether you cut it off or they cut it off doesn't matter, because the thing is that you're constantly thinking about this no love. And maybe not even constantly thinking about it, but you think about it a lot. And you feel like you're in the right with whatever's going on in this situation, okay? We also have the Four of Wands coming through, okay? Four of Wands energy. It's a fixation, right? And it's important to understand that where you're at in this fixation is exactly where you're supposed to be at. This is the center of the reading. This is very important right here, okay? Your fixation is what's going to determine your future. It's important to understand that you have gone from 3s and 2s, and I say 3s in the reverse to 2s in the upright. So it's like you go to take a new beginning and then you take that step back. You're afraid to kind of take that new beginning, but ultimately you start taking this new beginning. You're doing it, but it's baby steps, right? It's very small baby steps here. I want to say I see it, okay? The center of the reading, though, gets to the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is you being very fixated on what it is that you want passionately, what it is that you want and you need and you desire, the things that you crave. Remember, this happiness, this growth, this soul growth, this expansion. The reason I titled the video the way I did, I saw this when I was pre-shuffling off of camera, the expansion, the growth. This fixation is on that. So even though there's some issues, there's some codependency issues on self, on the way you think about this person, these emotions, ultimately this person, you're fixated on the fact that there's no love with this person. You're fixated on the fact that your dreams were crushed here. I feel like you may even be dreaming about this person, but you also feel like this person doesn't dream about you. This person doesn't care about you. So I feel like that's some of the emotions that you think about here. So yeah, Two of Wands energy. Again, this is in the reverse. So ultimately, you never got this passionate beginning with this person. And again, you're thinking about this very strongly and you feel like you're in the right, okay? It's weird because it's like, I feel like you haven't faced the failure of this connection yet. I feel like you're just dusting it under the rug. You're saying, you know what? I deserve better moving forward. It's not that easy. You have to face those shadows. You have to realize what it was that didn't make you happy, what it was that did make you happy. Hey, Angel. I started at 9 o'clock and it's 9:51, but I'll be on for about 2 hours. So if you want to come back, I don't know what time it is in your time zone, but it's 9:51 now. I have about another hour and 10 minutes if you want to come back, or if not, you can just hang out and then rewind. Well, when it's over, you get what I'm saying. Sorry. So yes, again, this person that you're thinking about, this counterpart, ultimately has you, again, obsessed with the thought of not having this person, not having this love, being fixated on this, being fixated on the fact that your dreams have not been fulfilled with this person. You didn't have a new passionate beginning. Look, the Ten of Wands. Awesome, awesome. The Ten of Wands is here in reverse. This was an ending. This was an ending that took place. It's said and done, right? And it's the Empress energy, okay? So for my masculines out there, this is your feminine counterpart. For my feminines out there watching this, this is your masculine counterpart. It's the same thing as the Emperor. It's just the feminine energy, okay? So ultimately, I feel like you lost. If you're a feminine watching this video, you feel like your counterpart, the emotional side of your counterpart, okay? The moon side of your counterpart, right? The feminine energy. not the masculine side of your counterpart, but ultimately you're missing the love from this counterpart. You're missing the nurturing from this counterpart, because the 10 of Wands is here in reverse. It's like, so usually the 10 of Wands in the upright, this is the easiest way for me to explain it. The 10 of the Wands in the upright is like you releasing the burdens and completing a cycle. The 10 of Wands in reverse is like somebody's ended the cycle and all the burdens are on you. So I feel like this ending created all of this burdens, okay? Now your blockages when it comes to your creative spark is just because you're afraid, especially with this kind of, this kind of past here. Of course you're going to be afraid to take a new passionate beginning, regardless if it's in love, a new job, or whatever, because you have this baggage here. You have this feeling of fixation on someone who has hurt you, someone who has taken love from you, someone who has not given you new passionate beginning, someone who is what you feel your counterpart, and frankly, they took all the burdens from the connection and just left them on you, okay? So again, this goes from this 3 of Swords energy. Hey, Natural Alex. Yes, for sure. So again, well, yeah, and this even includes like your patience. Ultimately, you can sit here and wait for this person forever. And remember, patience is always the reward. But even if you wait for this person forever, when you finally meet up with this person, or say this person finally wakes up and decides to come back to you, ultimately, you have to sit there and say, right, you have to have that conversation with this person. If they choose to come back, you get to have that conversation with them and say, they're going to ask you, what did you do while I was gone? Tell me about your life. What are you going to tell this person? That you just didn't really get shit done because you couldn't stop thinking about them? No, right? So ultimately, you have to start thinking about the what ifs, right? Because once in a blue moon does exist, okay? I'm not saying that the possibility is not there. I'm just saying that you have to worry about yourself and the way you think, and ultimately facing these dark areas of your life and accepting them for what they are and learning from them and expanding forward makes it every day a little bit easier, and you start filling in the voids of what this negative relationship did. It'll start filling in the voids and creating positive influence and expansion for yourself, okay? So again, center of the reading, big emphasis on this person really having a lot of say-so, a lot of influence on your blockages, okay? So let's go ahead and see what's going on here with this closed-minded attitude, okay? All right, you guys, what is it that you're not seeing here? Ooh, 8 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I feel like, honestly, you're afraid to walk away. You don't want to walk away from this energy. It's like you rather have the pain of this energy than to not feel anything at all. With the 8 of Cups energy, again, you don't want to walk away from this. You're okay where you're at, even though you want happiness, even though, again, this is what's funny, is because it's the choice between the two, right? It's, do you stay where you're at and comfortable, or do you finally move forward? Yeah, Mother of Wands energy. You could be dealing with a fire sign here. It doesn't have to be, but ultimately, I feel like you're dealing, especially with the Empress here, that's Aries energy, right? Or the Emperor's Aries energy. Ultimately, though, it's that competitive, fiery kind of attitude that has you wanting more. I feel like this energy that you're dealing with here is very competitive, likes a chase, right? And I feel like you're not being open-minded. You're not willing to leave these things behind and try something new. I feel like you're just really afraid here. More importantly, it's not that you're afraid, it's just that you're not realizing that somehow the way you're thinking about this situation is not working, okay? So there has to be a different perception. There has to be a different view. In other words, if things aren't changing for you, okay, you can sit there and say, I want change, all I want. But at what point are you going to say, okay, look, I've been saying I want change for the past 2 years, the past 3 years, the past 3 months, the past 3 days, whatever it is for you. Everybody's going to have different time frames. Ultimately, you have to ask yourself, okay, well, obviously what I've been doing up until now is not working as much as I wanted. So you have to start evaluating how it is that you're thinking. Let me tell you something. Well, the law of attraction is very true. It is very powerful. Remember, we're energy, okay? We're energy in a body. this fear of not wanting to risk your comfort, this fear of not wanting to push forward has you stagnant. It has you fixated. It's like, because you're afraid of moving forward, and maybe you're afraid of being rejected again, maybe you're afraid of being hurt again because this has you feeling shitty. This is what's stopping you from expanding. This is what's stopping your expansion. Again, at the center of the read is this individual, okay? Exactly. And again, at some point you have to ask, at what point is what I've been saying the change I want? When is it? If it's not working, you have to say, okay, then clearly there's something in the way I'm thinking that's wrong. I'm not seeing it from a certain perspective. Spirit, why is the Hierophant here in reverse? What else are they being closed-minded about? Show me what I need to see, please, Spirit. Anything else, Spirit? What was I saying? I was waiting for that 7 to come out. There's that 7 of Wands in reverse. I honestly feel like it's like you don't know the flame that you are. I feel like your consumption is on this person and how much of a flame they are. And it's like you don't see the flame you are. You don't see the possibility of you don't see the possibility of yourself. Straight up. The 7 of Wands energy is you afraid, and because you're afraid, you're not shining. Because you're afraid, your perception is focused out. These fears have you staying stagnant in your current situation. Yeah, you can want change all you want, but ultimately, if you're afraid to take that first step, you're never going to know if you are going to shine or not. Basically, and because what was it, the 6 of something came out, losing, right? Yeah, the 6 of Pentacles. You're losing at manifesting. Makes sense, right? You're losing at manifesting because you're never taking the step or the risk. You're allowing this fear. This is at the center of the reading right now. You're allowing this fear to stop you from shining. You're not walking towards a new journey, okay? Because you're allowing your past to consume you, to control your thoughts. So let's see what you're manifesting here. Let's see why the Magician's here. Spirit, why is the Magician here? Why is the Magician here, Spirit? Show me what I need to see. Exactly, Corrine. Hey, Corrine. How are you, my love? Hope everything's good in Canada. Yes. Don't cry. No, don't cry. No, you don't need to cry. And if it's crying, let it be tears of joy, because ultimately, or you know what? Yeah, cry. Feel that pain. Let that pain be your fuel. You know what I'm saying? Get it out. There's nothing wrong with crying. What do they say? Crying is weakness leaving the body. Straight up, right? Because it is. You're allowing those thoughts that have made you feel so sad for so long, you're going to release them. Every time you cry, you're thinking about something in your past. So ultimately you're reevaluating it. Okay. Yes, it gets you depressed. Yes, it gets you, scattered thoughts. Okay, look. So I feel like honestly, a lot of your issues is because your brain's all over the place. Look, grounding energy is the way you're thinking, right? The way you take action with your thoughts, right? Your words, your thoughts, your communication, everything. You have a lot of things kind of in your head kind of scattered, right? So I feel like it's like one day you forget about this emotion, you put it behind you, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? I want to do this. I want to try this. And so you try it, okay, whether it's a new job or whether it's just the way you work or the way you communicate, whatever it is, the trying to be more positive, trying to allow positive energy to come in, whatever, right? And then the next day it's like, oh, look, butterfly. Let's go look at this butterfly, right? It's very like just kind of random, kind of scattered, okay? Because of that, it makes it very easy to forget. Okay, it creates challenges. So I feel like a lot of you guys, it's like from one day to the next, your creations kind of hop everywhere, right? One day you want to do this, one day you want to do that. One day you don't want to think about this person, the next day you do, right? It's very scattered. There's no consistency to your thoughts. So it creates a lot of challenges, okay? I know you've probably heard this, and I know it probably sounds so silly. Hey, Shay, my email's in the description box down below. If you do want a personal reading, just send me an email, and I'll send you over a price list, and we can go from there. My general readings here online are free. Any other readings are going to be personal readings. Normally, I do extended readings too, but I'm not going to be doing extended readings for a while because these readings have been so long. But if you do have any questions pertaining to this read, pertaining to maybe things that could help the collective as far as expanding their mind, expanding their actions, their manifestations, you can go ahead and ask them. But as far as asking personal questions, I don't answer personal questions unless it's a personal reading, okay? So back to these scattered thoughts, okay? Because again, I feel like, okay, so what I was gonna say is, I know it sounds really stupid, but I have a whiteboard here, I have a white calendar board here, I have a chalkboard over there, and I also have another white dry erase boards, okay? On this dry erase board, I have inventory that I need to like get last minute from my bath line. And then I have like on this whiteboard, I have quotes, but I also have drink more water. I have stop saying like and so damn much. On my chalkboard, I have a picture that I drew, okay? So ultimately, I see that whiteboard every day. It reminds me what I need to get for my products. It reminds me all the appointments I have, where I need to be, when I'm picking up my kids. I have to, because if I don't, it becomes scattered thoughts. It becomes never shining, right? Okay, for example, on my YouTube channel, those 2 weeks that I missed because of the Mercury retrograde, I literally lost about 20 subscribers, and I haven't gained one in the whole time I've been uploading for the simple fact that I wasn't here. You can never experience things if you don't try. And I'm going to use that as an example because for the second you stop, the second you take a step back, it's going to take you back 50 steps more. All right. So prepare for it, plan for it, understand that these scattered thoughts need to get organized. These scattered thoughts need to become, okay, a checklist. Write your scattered thoughts down and start with one thing. Just say maybe the top of your priority is to stop thinking about this person so much. So just put on a damn whiteboard or on a chalkboard, stop thinking about this person, think about, and then think about something that you want really bad, like something new that does not involve this person. Say it's a car, say it's $100, say it's a new wardrobe, say it's a home, say it's a job, whatever it is that you want to set a goal, something that may be really difficult for you or something that may be really easy for you. It's totally up to you, but ultimately, you have to write it down to where you can see it. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, you're going to forget it, okay? It's going to become a scattered thought, and every now and then it'll pop back up when you remember it. We as humans are too busy with our minds to sit there and remember everything, right? And the older you get, the harder it gets. So ultimately, it's goal to be able to organize these thoughts, okay? Because again, when you can actually write these thoughts down and see these thoughts, you're reminded about how scattered these thoughts were before, but also how now these scattered thoughts are on the forefront, right? Very interesting so far, it really is. Let's see what it is that you're manifesting here. All right, Spirit, what are my viewers manifesting? What is my collective manifesting? Show me what I need to see when it comes to this manifestation, please. Interesting. Sorry. Yeah, I will tell you, for me, notebooks were really hard because notebooks get closed, okay? I used to use notebooks for a long time and it never worked for me. It didn't work for me. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for you. I used to work, look, I even have notebooks in here, you know what I'm saying, with my keyboard. I have like my calendar, my paper calendar and stuff like that. But let me tell you something, because I put it here, it's because I don't use it. I also have notebooks down here. Yes, I have like my recipes and stuff like that down here for like my products, but ultimately books get closed, and the only reason they get opened is when you're having a scattered thought and you're like, oh shit, I forgot, I wrote that down. Makes sense? So for me, I have to physically see it on the daily, whether it be a Post-it note, whether it be on a chalkboard, on a whiteboard, because if I don't see it, I don't know it, okay? Not saying that that's how it is for you. If you open that book every day, then you're good. You know, it's like people who have a diary. They have that diary, they express their emotions so that those emotions don't stay built up. And matter of fact, counselors, psychiatrists, when you're building up suppressing emotions and stuff like that, they'll actually have you write it in a notebook because it's private. You're not going to see it every day, but when you're in one of those emotions, your counselor will have you go back in your diary and open it up and try to figure out, because we forget as people. You know what I'm saying? We forget the things that, like, for example, with my childhood memory, not remembering that the things that actually trigger me, my fears, were something as simple as me being one of those kids that had to wear the leash because I was just kind of like everywhere, right? Scattered, very scattered. All right, so we're clarifying the Magician, and the Father of Wands is coming out, okay? So ultimately, you are manifesting this passion, this Father of Wands. This is beautiful because you're starting out this reading with the Three of Wands, afraid to take this step, this new creative step, this new journey, okay? Because of this fear of being uncomfortable, this fear of not being balanced, right? The fear of maybe losing, right? But what you don't realize is by staying behind, you're losing. You're not even giving yourself the option to win. You're automatically just creating your fate. Your fate is that you're going to be a loser. And I don't mean physically be a loser, but you're going to lose in this situation. You're never going to start a new journey because you don't even take that step. It's coming through in the middle of the reading too. You're not shining because your thoughts are very scattered and you don't want to take a new step forward because you're okay where you're at. It's not that you're okay where you're at. You're comfortable where you're at, okay? In here. I don't know about the physical world because normally how you think in here and how you speak in here becomes your physical world. So if you're scattered in here and you're comfortable in here and it's not on the forefront, you're not reminded with it every day, ultimately you're going to forget about it and it's going to come back up later. You're going to forget about it and it's going to come back up later, right? This is what's going on here. This is your main energy here. This is your main blockage. It doesn't matter if it's this person that you're thinking about or a job that you lose or, you know, whatever the situation is. You know what I'm saying? You can put a million different situations here. Regardless, it's the fact that, again, it's a scattered thought. So it's always going to come back because it's very scattered. It's not faced. It's forgotten about and then it comes back up. And it's like when it comes back up, you don't really face it. You just kind of go through the emotions, you go through the cycle, and again, you just kind of let it go again, right? And then it comes back later. Okay, that's this energy I'm feeling. Yeah, look, Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck in reverse. So interesting because the Father of Wands is coming through, which is telling me that ultimately you want to take action when it comes to starting a new journey, when it comes to walking away from the past and fully actually walking forward, right? When it comes to taking action on these scattered thoughts, right? Having them more organized, shining, right? Being not the center of attention, but being the flame that you rightfully deserve to be, right? The spark, the creativity, the influence, the passion, the yearn, the desire for something more, right? You take action towards this. You do. Says it, right? You manifest it. You do, okay? Spirit, show me why else the Magician's here. What else are my collective manifesting? Wow. By doing that, you ultimately manifest the Emperor. The Empress and the Emperor is here, okay? So I feel like, honestly, the one thing that is holding you back, when you finally face it and walk away from it, you end up calling in your love, your true love, whether it's this person waking up or whether it's a new person completely. The point is once you ascend, once you get your thoughts in order, once you actually start making changes, I'm telling you, it's crazy because all of a sudden you're like, dang, I told myself I was going to do this. I wrote it down and I did it. And I'm actually proud. Damn, this means I can do anything. And then you start seeing how things just start working out for you. Things really start being more positive. So ultimately, look, interesting though, okay? Interesting because you do manifest this passion, but you also manifest some bad karma, okay? So I do feel like, honestly, there's something that happens here with this counterpart, okay? It's like you take a new step, and it's like, ironically, it's like Spirit's going to test you, okay? So it's like Spirit gifts you a counterpart, but then you have some bad luck that comes in, maybe from something else, maybe from something you didn't realize. So ultimately, life is always a learning lesson, okay? Just because you get over one hump doesn't mean there's not going to be another hump. Ultimately, when you face another hump after ascension, this bad luck, when it's faced, you end up bringing this same energy that had you comfortable and not willing to take a step forward. You end up using this. This balancing act is a part of you. This is why it's so hard for you to take that step, because this is comfort for you. No matter if you're up or down, right? No matter if you're in the struggles of life or in the positives of life, you still feel it, because it's like, again, you ride the wave. You don't like to be too high or too low. You like to ride it just right, right? So you're going to bring that with you because it's a part of you. So as you ascend and bad luck comes your way, and yes, you manifest this bad luck, okay? So maybe you focus on a few things and there's something else that you forget. All right, hold on. Block user. Okay, sorry, you guys. Anytime you guys see negative comments like that on YouTube, if y'all see it before I do, just hit report. Or, well, I can block them. I don't know if you can, but if not, just report them and let me know in the comments, you guys. Well, obviously, if I see your comment, I'll see those comments too. Yeah, and even if not a whiteboard, just maybe leaving that notebook open, you know what I'm saying? Where you can see it. We also have the Mother of Cups coming through. Interesting enough, the Mother of Cups is coming through in the upright, and we're about to go into childhood trauma, okay? And interesting enough, I feel like something with this mother, okay? This mother energy here coming through is like, interesting enough, when I lay this down, her feather is pointing to the past, okay? To this stuff here, okay? So I feel like this Mother of Cups is pointing to this situation saying, look at it, face it, okay? So whether this mother is actually the mother or this is divine, ultimately this is an energy around you that is trying to show you need to face these issues, okay? And I feel like, honestly, maybe even a part of you is manifesting a relationship with a mother who is helping you to face these issues. There's some form of mother that you're manifesting here, okay? Whether this is a mother, meaning maybe you have a kid with this person, or you want to have a kid with this person, you want this person to be a mother, or you want to be a mother. But regardless, this energy is pointing to all of this, meaning that regardless if this is your mother, if this is someone you want to be a mother, or if this is the mother you want to be, this nurturing energy is telling you, focus on this stuff. Don't just sweep it under the rug. Don't just let it be a random thought that comes up periodically and gets you depressed and sad. Face it for what it is and take the step forward. Again, I feel like a lot of this energy is you afraid to just finally take that step forward, because again, you feel like you're going to lose like this again, or if you're not going to lose like this again, it's just the fact that you're thinking about this person. You can't fully let go and move forward. But this mother energy, whether this is the mother you want, the mother you never had, the mother you want to your kids, or the mother you want to be to a family type situation, this energy is pointing at this, saying, hey, look, face it for what it is. Take from it, learn from it, grow from it, use it, move forward, take action, right? So that you don't repeat this again. You have to lead by example. You have to be the change that you want. You can't expect change but take no action. You can't just sit there and wait for something to land on your lap. That's not the way it works. You have to create it. You have to be the magician. You have to work on it. You have to change your thought process. You have to Change the way you speak. You have to, and it's not like you have to change who you are. You just have to change the way you think about things, okay? Your character is still going to be here. You're still going to be a balanced individual. You still have the happiness, the sun coming through. You're still going to have this growth, this soul growth. The Empress is here. The Emperor is here in the upright. You have union within. You will have union within the future. Yeah, you've got some bad luck here. You have some karmic cycles, but let me tell you something. I don't know if you guys watched my karmic read, but I absolutely love karmic relationships because it's the aha moments where you're like, aha, makes sense. Now I know why I went through that with this person, because here I am repeating it again, and dang it, I fucked this up. I knew that this had already happened. I already knew the warning signs. I already knew the red flags, and I did not see them the second time around because I was being blinded, because I wasn't thinking right. I didn't use my past mistakes and my past regrets, okay, call them what they are. I didn't use my past challenges, my past failures. I didn't learn from them, and again, it's happening to me again. But I guarantee you, after this situation happens with a few people, whether you want the change or not, eventually you're going to be like, yeah, dude, this was all me. I can't even blame them anymore. There's a cycle that's repeating over and over again. So if you need that change, you have to be that change. And eventually it'll happen whether you want it to or not. Okay? So again, this manifestation, you need to manifest what you want because you have this power here. All right, where are we on time? All right, 40 more minutes. All right, Spirit, why is this Six of Cups here? What's going on with this childhood trauma? Show me what I need to see when it comes to this past child trauma. Son of Swords in reverse. So I do feel like, honestly, this happened in adolescence. Okay, so this wasn't like child, like really young. This was more of like the teenage, okay? Yeah, there was a decision that wasn't made when you were a teen for something here, okay? Spirit, what was the decision not made here? What was the decision not made? Show me what I need to see, please. So again, childhood trauma for you. What's blocking you? You have, wow, okay, so interesting. Okay, so honestly, there's something here that's coming through, again, in your adolescent age, right? The teenager age, maybe 12, maybe 13, 14, 15, maybe even like 16, 17. And it had to do with some action that was taken, and it created some issues in your thoughts. It was the reverse of action. Someone didn't take action when you were a teenager. Someone didn't make a decision with you. It has to do with family with the Three of Cups here, okay? Maybe it was you, your mom and dad. Maybe it was you and some brothers and sisters. Maybe it was you and some cousins. Either way, there was some decision that wasn't made when it came to this family union, when it came to the work in a household, okay? Yeah, look, Ace of Swords in reverse too. There was no action taken. There was no clarity. So again, there's something that happened in this adolescence age period where someone didn't take action when it came to a family unit. Someone didn't make a decision. So whether this was you saw your parents arguing and someone never made a decision to leave and they just stayed arguing and you always said, you know what, I don't want to be like that. You know, something that bothered you like that. Maybe, and again, this decision wasn't made in a family unit, meaning it's not that the decision was made for someone to walk away, although maybe that's what it is. But ultimately, I'm feeling more of this energy of somebody in a household not making a decision and not taking action. And again, this happened during your adolescent stage, your teenage stage, okay? Your young teenage stage. There was no action. There was no mental clarity. I'm not going to be able to exactly tell you what it is, but I will tell you that the Eight of Pentacles is here too. So it's something that you wanted perfection with. It was something that you felt like should have been worked on. You feel like this should have been created. You feel like this decision should have been made and the work should have been put in, okay? I don't know what that is for you. You guys let me know in the comments what that relates to. let me know what this hits on here, because again, each one of you guys is going to have a different story, but ultimately whoever's clicking on this video, it should resonate, okay? Look, wish fulfillment, right? It has to do with something you really wanted. You wanted somebody to make a decision and be stable and work hard. Your wish was that these values or these traditions or these morals or something with the manifestation, okay? Whether this is people, places, or things. So whether this is a mom and a dad, your family, a mother and a sister, or whatever the situation is. This is a family unit. This is something that you feel like you wanted, you wished for it, you hoped for it. You wanted this to make a decision, to be clear, and to work hard, but it didn't happen here, okay? Spirits really, look, Father of Pentacles in the reverse. It had something to do with the masculine energy. Could have been your father, could have been your uncle, could have been your mother who was just more in their masculine energy. Again, energy is fluid here, but this is someone who, is very powerful, but used their powerful for the wrong, right? This is someone who was able to basically get anything that they wanted, work hard, but they chose not to work hard, okay? This is someone who, again, you know those bad people in your life, or those bad people that you run across in life, and it's like they always have everything going for them in your life, but they're their character is such a bad character. You're like, how did they get these things? That's what the Father of Pentacles is. That's exactly what the Father of Pentacles is. That's this type of character, okay? So whether this was a brother, an uncle, again, a mother and a masculine energy, ultimately this energy, maybe this person did walk out. Maybe your father walked out on your mother and created the disunion. But it's weird because the Three of Cups is here, which is telling me that there was still three people in the family. So even if this father walks out, it's like there's your mother and your brother and your sister, or you and your sister, or you and your brother. You get what I'm saying? There's three people in this equation that are still together. But ultimately, this Father of Pentacles energy walks out, doesn't work hard on the situation, never made a decision to stay, never was clear about things, and again, just didn't put the work in where it needed to be, okay? I don't know, you guys, that's going to affect each of you guys differently, but ultimately, Spirit's telling me there's something in that time frame that you need to really face, okay? So again, if this was your father who walked out on you, if this was a brother who just didn't stick around, I don't know what this is, whether this is your mother who was just more aggressive, more egotistical, whatever it is, ultimately there's something that happened in your teenage life. Again, you feel like the work wasn't put in. You feel like, and again, this is family, okay? This is something you wish for. So Spirit's saying to really focus on that energy so that you can realize there's issues that start there, okay? So it goes back before this emotion. So ultimately what this is telling me is the reason you're having a hard time of letting go of this energy, this person that your counterpart, right? This union is because of something that happened in this adolescent stage, okay? So there was something that started here, and before you knew it, it followed you because you never realized what it was. You never realized it was an issue. You swept it under the rug. You grew up, you met someone, maybe the relationship didn't work out. You're sitting here blaming this person for walking away, but ultimately it's because you were carrying baggage that you didn't even know you had on your back, okay? Not saying that this person didn't contribute. I'm not saying that this person didn't have their own baggage and have their own shit, right, to bring to this equation. I'm just saying that your issues with self have to do with this starting point here. Very interesting. Okay, so, all right, so that's all I have for you for this part. So let's go ahead and find out what's going on just a little bit more. So I want to see what it is that you need to do to really get over all of these humps and to really actually grow, okay? I'm actually going to use another deck. Something was saying no, 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 okay? All right, let's see what's going on here. So let's go ahead and take a look at, again, so we know what's stopping you from taking that step forward is that fear of actually taking a step forward, okay? So I feel like, again, you go back and forth in your head. Should I stay where I'm at or should I actually change? And again, I don't even think it's thought of like that. Just ultimately, that's the action that's being taken. It's like, you start getting over this person or this energy and you start moving forward. And then all of a sudden, because of your scattered thoughts, you're right back to this energy again because you didn't really address it, okay? So ultimately, it's that back and forth decision. Do I stay or do I go? And what I mean by stay or go is not necessarily physically with the person, but the energy, okay? Your energy is, should I do this or should I stay where I'm at? Should I stay or should I go, okay? So Spirit, messages when it comes to this issue, please. Messages when it comes to this blockage, please. We have the awakening, the seas of Montaka, and we have Pleiades, and we have baby steps, okay? The awakening is energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, right? A new way of being, integration. So again, Spirit's telling you got to take baby steps here, okay? You're not going to just one day all of a sudden say, okay, I'm changing and everything's going to manifest the way you want. That's not how it is, and you have to remove those expectations of how long it's going to take you to actually get over this or figure out what this is that happened in your adolescent stage. This is going to take time, okay? So Spirit's telling you baby steps here. It's not going to happen overnight, okay? Ultimately, that is the integration, right? It's like a kid who has been homeschooled for most of their life, and all of a sudden you try to introduce them into the high school years, right? Ultimately, any counselor is going to say, okay, well, let's start them off with a few classes so they can get used to it, and then we'll give them a full-blown schedule by the second semester. That's how usually it works, okay? So ultimately, that's the same integration here. Spirit says, okay, look, you want a new beginning. You're back and forth. You're afraid to take that new step forward. You have to take baby steps, okay? Maybe start addressing some of these deep-seated issues, right? The codependency issue with this person who's walked away because, again, you have the scattered thoughts when it comes to this person, right? So randomly, you just don't really, it's not on the forefront, right? It's an idea, it's a thought that comes randomly because, again, you haven't really addressed it, okay? So ultimately that, again, starting to address these issues, starting to address the fact that you're depending on someone or the fact that there's something when you were a teenager that really did bother you that you never really addressed. Ultimately, it's taking a step like that, just addressing those shadows, addressing those issues, facing these blockages for what they are. That is the baby step, right? The baby step is thinking, right, of one negative thought and replacing it with one positive thought, okay? That is the integration. That is the awakening. The fact that you want change, the fact that you're even willing to make a choice, the fact that you're even caught between a rock and a hard spot. What is it? You get what I'm saying. The fact that you're even having a choice to stay where you're at or to move forward is the awakening. That is the baby step you need. Because ultimately you're acknowledging the fact that you need to change, or not need to change, but you deserve more. You don't need to be stuck on someone who is not willing to give you what it is that you deserve. You're starting to see that, right? So this is that, again, that baby step, okay? The baby steps to the awakening, all right? The seas of Mintaka. Sorry, my lighting's really, really bright. This is the seeing the potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Remember what I was saying, you guys, especially Angel, right? If you're still on, again, having a whiteboard or a chalkboard or something that you can actually write. And it's about actually writing it down on the damn board. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to do this. Don't go get a whiteboard. And then 2 days later, you have a whiteboard that's never hung up on your wall and doesn't have anything written on it. Literally, you have to take the action to do something. You have to start changing your actions. Because again, remember, if you've been sitting here saying, damn, 2 years, what am I doing wrong? Nothing's changing, and wanting change is not actually taking action to change, right? Ultimately, at some point, you have to sit there and say, well, shit, if I've been wanting this to change for 3 years and it hasn't changed, clearly I'm not doing something right, okay? So that is what this Sea of Mintaka is, right? It's bringing the things that are in the back of your mind, right? Those scattered thoughts of this person who has walked away from you, or whatever happened with this father energy, this masculine energy walking away from you at a young age, right? Or not being consistent in a family unit. That is what these scattered thoughts are, right? One is the scattered thoughts of something that happened in your childhood. Another one is this person that walked away from you. This is maybe the job that you're just not happy in. Maybe this is because you don't feel confident in your body. You get what I'm saying? There's going to be different ideas that are scattered here. So what's going to happen is randomly one of these creative, one of these wants, needs, yearns, desires, things that didn't work out, whatever it is, positive in or negative in, regardless, it's just all kind of floating around randomly. And so ultimately, and this is all happening subconsciously, right? So in the back of your mind, all these thoughts are randomly floating, in the back of your head. And then all of a sudden one comes to the front, right? And when that one comes to the front, it's like the damn Wheel of Fortune. You don't know which one it's going to be. It's just like, here it is. This song reminded me of this. So guess what? That wand's going to come through, right? There's that dream. There's that thing. There's that thought. There's that thing I want, that thing I need, that thing I yearn for. But again, there's no consistency because, again, there's scattered thoughts. So again, write it down on the damn whiteboard. See it every day. Acknowledge it for what it is. Write down, damn, my dad treated me like shit. So I'm going to find someone, or I'm going to be that parent that I never had. I'm going to be that stability. I'm going to be that person that manifests, that works hard. So again, it's not that you have to write down on this whiteboard, this person treated me like shit, like I said. But what I'm saying is ultimately you have to find, okay, if this person wasn't stable in your life, you know you want stability, right? If this person didn't work hard like what you wanted them to, whether this was your father or your counterpart, ultimately you know that you want stability. You want someone to work hard. So what you do is instead of saying on that whiteboard, find someone who's going to be stable. Fuck that. You write on that damn whiteboard, you're going to be stable for you. You don't need somebody else to be the stability. You don't need this father figure to be the stability that you need. You don't need this counterpart to be that stability. Does that make sense? All right. That's what the C of Mintaka is. It's bringing the subconscious to the front, to the light. It's facing those shadows for what they are and shining the light on them and saying, you know what? You motherfucker right there. I see you. I see you keep randomly going back and hiding and then coming back out. I'm going to bring you to the forefront and make you there where I can see you and address you every damn day and finish you and put you in the ground where you belong. Does that make sense? You have to literally take action. You can't just sit there and say, you want change, but spend 2 weeks on the couch crying over someone who you're never going to get an answer from. Okay. And even so, when you finally, if you just sit there and wait 10 years for this person to come back into your life, or your father to come back and say, I'm sorry, I should have worked harder. What happens if they never do? You waste your whole life waiting on someone else to be the stability that you could have been for yourself. I'm not trying to get heated here. I'm not trying to get aggressive. I'm trying to tell you that you can be all of these things that you're expecting other people to be, because ultimately you attract what you are. So if you're in this energy, you're going to attract someone who is not going to be stable. You are going to attract someone who is not going to be consistent. You are going to attract someone who does not see you as the flame that you truly are, okay? That is what the C's of Mintaka is. It is facing those shadows for what they are and being what it is, seeing it for the light, right? It's embracing the dark, but bringing it in the light, okay? We also have boundaries. Duh. I state this in every single one of my readings, you guys. Every karmic relationship, every bad situation, everything that challenges you, creates fear, creates problems, creates stagnation, fixation, creates issues of loneliness, abandonment, addiction. Remember, the devil card came through here, right? It creates you realizing that you have to set boundaries so that these people can't take from you like this, right? Ultimately, when you start creating these boundaries, you create the defense that you need. I use this expression, this example all the time now, okay? And I will use it for the rest of probably all of my readings, okay? Angel, I think you've already heard this. You heard this yesterday. I said this, and I'll say it again. If you watched any of my past few readings, you definitely heard it, okay? Ultimately, this boundaries energy here, okay? Setting your boundaries. I love this card, by the way. It's a beautiful card. I'm going to have to adjust my lighting so you guys can see it because it has so many blues and purples in it and you can't really even see it. But ultimately, you guys, these boundaries is like that free store I was talking about. It's like taking a store like Walmart, and I'll go back over the comments here in a minute. It's like taking a store like Walmart or even Saks Fifth Avenue, or, pick whatever store you want to pick, whatever, the Guest store, Gap, whatever. If they decided to have a sell, and not even a sell, they just decided to open their doors and allow everything in the store to be free. How long until you think that store's dry? How long until you think that store has been completely ransacked, everything is freaking gone, and even the shelves are torn up, and the actual building itself is probably damaged, right? Broken glass, people pushing, people out of the way, probably hurting each other in there. You get what I'm saying? Ultimately, that's the concept of these boundaries, right? This is saying, you know what? No, I'm going to charge for my shit. I am going to say, you know what? No, I have a max capacity here. Okay. I don't just give my shit away for free. And I'm not talking about physically charging for your shit. Okay. I'm not telling you to go be a prostitute. What I'm telling you is that you have to sit there and say, okay, it has to be an even exchange. In other words, you have to create a boundary that says, okay, you know what? You're coming into my life. I met you, whether it's this past energy or new energy. You have to sit there and say, okay, look, I get it. You want to take me out to eat. That's fine. Take me out to eat. If someone takes you out to eat and on a date, ultimately you have to say, okay, this person gave me a little bit. Let me give back to them. All you have to do is maybe open up just a little bit. You don't have to tell them how you feel. You don't have to tell them about all your bullshit from the past and everything you've been through. But maybe you can just open up a little bit and tell them about something you've been through. Ultimately, it's understanding that you can't express all of your emotions. You have to use your mental thought space, and you also have to be in a space of being stable for yourself, being fully loved by yourself, being fully independent. And I'm not talking about materialistically. I'm talking about self-value, self-worth. We as individuals, myself was included for a long time. I just hold my value really high now because of all of these kinds of situations, okay? I allowed people to walk all over me over and over again. And I always questioned, why were people hurting me? It was always seeing what they did to me. I never looked in the mirror and said, you know what? I allowed these people to do that because I didn't love myself enough. Ultimately, that's what these boundaries are. Now, each one of us are going to have different boundaries that need to be established. So ultimately, you're going to know what it is for you. I use examples in my scenarios, but it doesn't mean that that's how it's going to be for you, but it can relate, okay? So ultimately, that's what's going on here. Spirit's saying, look, if you want to take this new beginning, the way you're going to create this new beginning is by creating these boundaries, right? You're going to have to see the potential within yourself. You're going to have to face those shadows and shine light on them, okay? You're going to have to replace the negative shit in your life with some positive shit. But ultimately, in baby steps, okay? I'm not telling you to go and erase every single thought about the person that hurt you. I'm not telling you to go and erase every single thought about this father that abandoned you, or this feminine energy, this masculine energy that abandoned you in your adolescence. I'm telling you that you have to take baby steps. You have to just start bringing some of those thoughts to the forefront and start seeing them for what they are and replacing them with something positive, okay? The last card for that part is the Pleiades, right? This is double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Look, it's important to understand, especially with everything that's going on right now, as a collective, there's a lot of depression, sadness, anxiety, not knowing what's going to happen in the future, okay? On top of all the bullshit that we already have to deal with in our personal lives, we have to deal with this whole energy push because of everything going on in our environment. Harley, no. Sorry. This channeling, this uplifting humanity is going to be your part. This is your destiny, okay? You are made to change. You are made to grow. You are made to create boundaries and take baby steps because you are made to have this awakening. You are made to have this awakening so that you can channel and uplift humanity. Look, these readings have been this way because collectively our energy has been doubtful, unstable, not manifesting what we want, being sad, being defeated, being cheated, lied, stabbed in the back. This is a collective energy. This is a majority of how people feel. Do you get what I'm saying? So ultimately, it starts, look, what was that song by Michael Jackson? When all this division really started with, you know, the whole black and white and everything that I'm seeing on the television. I grew up on Michael Jackson, okay? My family idolized Michael Jackson, okay? I remember being a little girl when I was 2 years old and holding on to the old school 80s radios that were all really big, you know, nothing small. I mean, I'm talking about the whole centerpiece. For all you old schoolers, you know what I'm talking about. Ultimately, I remember I was like 2 years old and I would hold on to the radio and I would just bounce up and down to Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the early 80s, right? But what is the one song? He said, he's saying something about, it's like, I think it's looking at the man in the mirror, right? To have the change in the world that we want, it starts with you. This is what this card is about. This is about the energy of you changing your energy, you changing slowly but surely. Because what's going to happen is people's energy, people around you are going to see this energy change. They're going to see you finally doing something for yourself and being stable. Maybe this father that was never in your life or did not work hard with you, maybe this father will see you change and maybe want to change. Or maybe somebody that you meet once in your life feels this energy and something in this energy channels to them and has them feeling like they can be better, right? Exactly. Yes, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. It's the truth, though. That's what this Pleiades is about. This is about you taking a look in the mirror, right? And being the change that you want. You have to. If you want the change, that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And this starts with me. This starts with you. And ultimately, it's going to travel. Okay? It really will. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at why, again, remember the Three of Swords energy here. Why you're feeling heartbroken, why you're feeling sad, and how it was clarified with basically, again, in a self way. The reason you're sad over whether this person left you or whether it's because you haven't had that new passionate beginning. Ultimately, it's the way you're thinking about this love, about the loss of these emotions. It's like you're controlling and suppressing these emotions instead of releasing them. So ultimately, it creates codependency and issues because you're not releasing these thoughts or these emotions, much less are you able to release the addiction of it, okay? So Spirit, messages when it comes to this codependency, messages when it comes to this addiction, this, you know, it's a lack of equal give and take. Again, I feel like, again, you had that store open and you had everything free and people come in and they take everything and they destroy your store, all right? Your store is your capsule, it is your body. So ultimately it weighs on your health. It weighs on your, again, depression, right? Sadness, grief, loss, betrayal. All of these things really play on your health. You are being stagnant, right? It's an addiction. It's just as much as an addiction, okay? The loss of this love is just as much of an addiction, right? The fact that you allowed this person to take everything from you and you didn't leave anything in that store intact, you didn't leave any products in that store, yourself, right? Your wealth of your being was all given away for free. So of course you're going to hold on to this person. This person took all of you, right? This person took all of you. So what Spirit's telling you, okay? Spirit's telling you here, we, the Hathors, right? This is that deep love, the mother's milk, birth is a portal. Interesting. Remember, this Mother of Cups came through, okay? And it was pointing back at everything over here, okay? This is you drinking the mother's milk, and this is metaphorically speaking, right? This is you drinking your own milk. This is you nurturing your own self here. This is you being the mother, right? You being the mother that maybe you never had, or you being the mother that you always looked up to. This is you nurturing yourself. This is you loving yourself. This is you pointing at all of the past and filling all of the past negativity with this own warm, nurturing, loving energy, okay? This is serious, deep love. This is oneness. This is that one love, right? Same thing. I've even brought this up in other readings. Bob Marley's One Love, right? Ultimately, it's knowing that the same thing as this Pleiades energy. You have to be that change. You have to start with self. You have to have that self-value, that self-love, that self-respect, that self-authority, that self-discipline, that self-ambitious drive. You have to. If not, you're not going to make it in this world. You're not. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be sitting on your couch and you're never going to achieve shit in life. That's the same thing that I talk about with this mental slavery. We have been oppressed from day one. I've talked about this over and over again, going back to the slave and the slave owner. We have all been controlled and conformed to think a certain way. My readings will hopefully open your mind and break this past ancestral cursage, this past weighing, I don't even know how to explain it. And I don't want to get off subject either. So it's just ultimately knowing that you have to change. You have to. You have to for me. I have to change for you. We have to change for humanity. Straight up. I know it sounds corny as fuck, but it's the reality. Because ultimately the path that we're headed down is destruction. The path we're headed down is separation, division, hatred, anger, walking around with a chip on your shoulder, depression, mental instability. Again, I think you guys get what I'm saying, okay? So we have the mother's milk when it comes to, again, these codependencies, these addictions, right? In order to slowly start getting over the addictions within, the way you think about love, the way you feel about how everybody is taken from you, it's time to flip the switch and see it from a different perspective, okay? To release those codependencies issues, you have to nurture yourself. You have to start telling yourself that you love you, okay? You have to start giving yourself the milk of nurturing, the milk of self-love. And it's a very, very deep love, and it's not easy. This is why Spirit's saying in the very beginning, baby steps, okay? Deep cellular healing, okay? This is that Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing, okay? Clearly, we have some emotional here. Adolescence, love, okay? The father, the counterpart, right? Or either way, this mother or father, whoever this was that just didn't treat you right? That wasn't working. You get what I'm saying. You have to heal from this heartache. You have to heal from this pain. Ultimately, when you start thinking better and you cleanse out this scattered thought, or maybe you're really confused and you have too many thoughts, okay? Everybody's going to be different here, but ultimately you have to clean out your thought process. You have to organize your thoughts. You have to get a hold and control of your thoughts. As much as you try to control these emotions, balance it out by controlling some of your thoughts as well, right? I feel like right now, it's like the emotions are up here and your logic's down here. So ultimately, you think you're thinking, right? But what's happening is because you're not in the right place of logic, your thinking is based off these emotions. It's like you need to balance it out a little bit. You don't have to make it to where all you do is think. You just need to be able to think and use your emotions, okay? Ultimately, when you start feeding when you start feeding your emotional state, your physical state will be fed too, okay? So if you can fix your mental state, physically your body will change. Again, for me, when I started focusing on mental things and I felt like I had kind of reached that point where I was good mentally, I had to start looking at the physical body because, again, I had already changed my mindset. And so when my mindset changed, ultimately, I wanted to change my lifestyle, right? I wanted to drink more water. I wanted to eat healthier. I wanted to work out. I wanted to run. And it was weird because I'd never thought about those things before, okay, straight up. But automatically, when my mind started changing, my habits started changing as well, okay? So that's what that deep cellular healing is. Okay, this is emotional and again, physical healing. We also have the whale and orca elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Remember what I was saying? Be the change, right? Just like Angel was saying, right? You have to be that change if you want that change. This is saying your frequency, it's like trusting in divine, trusting in your process, trusting why you are here, trusting that divine has put you here for a reason, trusting that you are supposed to change the frequency. You are supposed to uplift humanity. You are supposed to dive deep and change that frequency, okay? Create that frequency song. Ultimately, like I said, the law of attraction is real, right? What you do, the energy you are, you end up leading by example. Your energy radiates onto everybody else. So ultimately, people around you will change. And if they don't change because you've changed, you will change your circle very quickly. Ultimately, these people will see you in a happier place, and they're going to start questioning, what are they doing? I want some of that. How do I get some of that? Right? We also have pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Okay? Straight up, you are the oracle. You know what you need to do. This is why you're even clicking on these videos. This is why you're even awakening to the thought that you can control, not control to the concept of control everything in your life, but you can somewhat control and balance out these things so that it's not so drastically different, okay? You know this. You're that oracle. You have that know-how. You have that power. You have that knowledge. Why? Because of the experience, okay? This experience is what has created that oracle. It's like the oracle. The oracle knows all. Why does the oracle know all? Because usually the oracle is old and wise. It's like the I'm having a brain fart right now. Not the magician. I guess it is kind of like the magician. Even the magician is old and wise. Even the emperor can be older and wiser, right? This is mature energy. We have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. What did I say? This is your, look, this is your divine plan. This is your divine path. You were supposed to go through these things so that you could grow, so that your soul could be stronger, so that you could have that established strength and be able to heal others. You may not realize it now, but that's what this is. That's what this Akasha energy is. It's saying that, look, divine has you. Your plan is set in stone. It doesn't matter how much you alter off or how much you stay stagnant or how much you stay afraid. You're going to end up where you need to be regardless. And these things are what is going to get you there. These things are creating who it is that you're going to be, okay? This is going to be your fuel. This here, these emotions is your fuel, period. Trust in the plan, okay? We also have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Most definitely. Most definitely. I feel like, honestly, this reading is going to activate you in a way that you've never been activated before. You know, Spirit's trying to tell you, look, it's like you've been so grounded for so long, and I'm not talking about grounded in a stable way. I'm talking about grounded in the concept, yes, the elders. I'm talking about you've been so grounded in the concept of 3D and earthly possessions that you have forgotten that there is an energy that is above all. You have forgotten that our universe is strategically placed, okay? Our whole existence is based off of numbers, all right? Ultimately, you cannot tell me that there's not a creator of our universe. That is understanding that underneath, right, standing here on this earth looking up, that is the possibilities of your life, even here on earth. The possibilities are endless. But until you start to see that until you start to actually understand in the universe, in the plan that is for you, you're not going to understand what this transmission is, what this activation is. But this activation is taking place. You're already here. You get what I'm saying? This is what's going to create the releasing of these addictions, because you're going to start saying, you know what? I feel this. I feel this. There was a reason I was drawn to this video. There was a reason I was drawn to this message. There was a reason that I ever even searched tarot. There was a reason that this person hurt me. There was a reason that my father wasn't consistent in my life. There was a reason for this entire plan. And once you start to realize that there was a reason, that you are part of a bigger plan, that's when this activation takes place. And this is when things, it's not that they're going to get easier, but it's that you will stop seeking the answers in the things you see, and you will just start trusting in your actions. You will start trusting in the divine guidance, in the intuition, in the higher perspective of things. That's when you can literally take yourself out of your physical body and look down on your situation, the people around you, what people are saying versus what you're saying, not just from your eyes. It's like that saying, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. This is that perception. This is what the divine feminine, the divine masculine is. The divine masculine and the divine feminine are in their purest form. They understand not only their actions, their thoughts, their emotions. They also understand the actions, the emotions, and the equations of other people as well. The balancing act, right? The seeing not only the positives in life, but the negatives. And it's also seeing the positives within the negatives and the negatives within the positives. It's always finding that middle ground, that common ground, that balancing, right? All right, so what's going on here with this individual, right? This individual that hurt you, this counterpart, the Emperor and the Empress is here, right? And this is the center of the reading. So what advice, right? What messages does Spirit have for you when it comes to this person that has left you, when it comes to the way you're thinking of this person, when it comes to the Emperor and the Empress, right? This bad karma, why you're not shining, right? Why you're afraid to take a step forward in a new path. I love when Spirit does this, okay? Look, loosen your grip. You're trying to control the situation way too hard. And it's weird because, again, I feel like the way you're trying to control the situation is by not thinking about it, not taking action, staying where you're at, right? You're controlling that comfort, right? Your control is that comfort. You don't want to step out of that box. You don't want to step out of that comfort zone because you're afraid. This is why Spirit's saying, loosen that grip. Trust in the bigger scheme, right? Look, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. The addiction card already came through here. You have to give it to something higher. You have to see it from a higher perspective. You have to have a deeper understanding, a nurturing understanding. It's time to have that activation. It's time to say, okay, look, my life has not changed. I've been wanting change for a long time. Clearly the way that I am thinking that is right? The way that you think you're thinking that's right is not right because clearly it hasn't changed a damn thing. That's the action. That's the activation that needs to happen, okay? Look, you're not alone. Why do you think I call upon Spirit? Why do you think I ask for divine guidance from a higher perspective? I know you guys don't really see when I set my intentions and when I shuffle my decks. And honestly, you guys, my readings are 2 hours long. If I shuffled on camera for you guys and I saged on camera for you guys and I set intentions and prayed on camera with you guys, I would add about another hour to my readings. Now, if you guys want me to do that, let me know and I will definitely do it so you can understand what the intentions are that I put behind it. I'll gladly do it. You just let me know, okay? But ultimately, this energy here is understanding that even in your most isolated moments, you always have energy around you, okay? Me, as someone who believes in spirituality, I believe in past lives. I believe in future lives. I believe in reincarnation, okay? I believe that we are just energy, and this energy bounces all over the place until it finds somewhere to go, okay? This is why in spirituality, you'll hear a whole bunch of frequency, right? Energy, subconscious, consciously, 5D and 3D, okay? It's the energy of things, okay? Some readers are a little bit more religious, and even me, I'll bring Father God into it. I'll bring the Holy Spirit into it, because ultimately it is the same divine energy, okay? I believe in things higher as well, okay? So this here, though, is understanding that even in your most isolated moments, even in your most alone moments, there is always energy around you. Whether it is the ancestors that walk beside you during those isolated moments when you're feeling this pain, when you're feeling alone, or whether it is divine, right? Divine next to you, whether it's divine wiping your tear, whether it's your guardian angels, or even, just this energy that you can't see, but you can feel, okay? And even if you don't feel it or see it, Spirit's trying to tell you that They see you in those isolation. They see you in those moments of being alone. And you need to understand that you have a community. Just as much as you're getting this message right now, you have a community with you. I always seek advice for my elders, okay? And let me tell you something. When you ask for guidance, when you ask for answers and you don't get them, you need to understand, because that is the answer. If you're saying, hey, God, am I making the right choice? And you don't get a sign, what do you think that is? It's because you're making the right choice. The fact that you're even asking is the issue. You should know what it is in here that you're supposed to be doing. You know, okay? The only thing that has you afraid of stepping out of this comfort zone, the only thing that has you afraid to step forward and start a new journey is the 3D of things. It's not that divine, because divine knows. Divine knows all. Divine feminine knows how to handle her emotions, how to handle her logic. Divine masculine knows how to take action and handle his emotions, okay? Divine does not ask questions. Divine knows. So whether it's the creator you believe in or the divine within you, ultimately divine knows. Divine doesn't ask questions, okay? This is that intuition that we have slowly ignored because some things say it's taboo. Some things make it seem like it's bad. But again, when you're getting caught up in the 3D, the side of things, the touch, the feel, the smell, right? The want, the need, the yearn, the desire. It's like when you fall in love with someone and that person passes away. Every now and then you can still feel them. You can feel their energy in those most isolated moments. That's what this energy is. This energy is the people and the energy that is still around you, even though they don't have a physical body, okay? This energy is within. This energy is around you. This energy, again, is telling you you're not alone. So, in a bigger scheme of things, in a higher perspective of things, referencing this person, your counterpart that you're missing, this counterpart that is in the middle of this reading that is controlling and stopping you from moving forward. This "you are not alone" is also spirit telling you that even though you feel alone and you feel like this person completely abandoned you, you are not alone. You're never alone. Remember, there's always masculine and feminine even within you. You're not alone. There's a counterpart within you waiting for you to knock on that door and shake hands with your counterpart. Make sense? You're never alone, you guys, okay? Spirit wants me to strongly emphasize that. You are never alone. Child of the Cosmos. That's a beautiful card. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. What did I just say? I love when Spirit speaks like that. I really do, because ultimately this is, again, speaking of the answers. The answers you're asking, the answers that you're clicking on these videos for is within you, not in these videos. Yes, this video may awaken you. This video may make you think, okay, you know what? Maybe she's right. Maybe I need to stop asking everybody what I should do in this situation. Because regardless, even though they tell me things, ultimately I still go against them. I still don't fully hear what it is. Dude, even these tarot readers that tell you what you want to hear, ultimately you're still seeking the answers even though you just heard what you wanted to hear, right? Even if I sit here and I shine light on all of these shadows and tell you what all of your deepest, darkest secrets are, it's still up to you whether or not you still watch another video or not. It's still up to you whether you seek outward with those answers or whether you finally just start trusting your intuition and trusting your path and the actions that you take. Whether it's to stay stagnant and not move forward, or whether it is to move forward and finally create new happiness. Ultimately, you have to understand that the answers are here. You know what you need to do. Again, if things aren't changing year after year, you know what you need to do. You need to change the way you're thinking, period, okay? Again, those answers you seek lie within, okay? We have a few more cards to get overall advice for, and then this reading will be done. And then you guys can rewind and go back over if you need to. I know Angel, and again, I'll go back over you guys' comments when I'm done. And if there's anything that needs to be extended as far as more clarifying or anything. So if you guys have any questions pertaining to the reading, do so now, because once I finish these two cards, I'm going to go back over the comments, and then I'll finish out this reading, okay? So remember the magicians here. Remember, we know that you're about to manifest this counterpart, okay? Again, the counterpart within as well as the counterpart without, okay? Once you create the twin flame union within you, okay, the balancing of masculine and feminine energies, not only the balancing of masculine and feminine energies, but actually targeting all these dark areas, working on it and changing it. We're talking about the actual activation, okay? After all the hard work is put in, okay? That's when the manifestation starts to happen. Once you take care of the thoughts, once you take care of the emotions, and you balance out the logic, the way you think, and the emotions, then you can start manifesting this equal balance within masculine and feminine within you, the Emperor and the Empress within you, okay? Ultimately, what happens when that activation takes place is you start manifesting in the 3D of things. So you create this balance within the 5D within you, and now you're starting to create it in the 3D, which means either this person, okay, that you think is your emperor and comes back because they feel the energy change within you. And I've stated this in other readings because remember, it's important. If you don't change, you're not going to smell the bullshit, okay? So if you don't change and this person comes back and you haven't grown in the way you're supposed to, you're not going to be able to tell if this person is with the bullshit or not, all right? So ultimately, this is why it's important that you change for you, for your own protection, for your own defense, okay? Because look, with this emperor comes bad karma, okay? Bad negative energy. Not saying that you don't need to have this negative energy, because again, the negative things in our life, the shadow works, is what actually creates the established strength and creates the growth and the, again, stability, whatever it is that we finally figure out what it is that we didn't like, okay? But you're going to manifest this counterpart. And again, with every hurdle you get over, you're going to be tested and there's going to be other hurdles, okay? So this pain that you're feeling with this person, you're going to have other pain in the future too. Just because you work on this doesn't mean everything's going to be lollipops and gumdrops and it's going to be this fantasy Disney cartoon, okay? It's going to always take work. But let's see what Spirit has to say when it comes to, again, you manifesting this counterpart, when it comes to you manifesting a little bit of bad luck here, okay? Spirit, overall advice when it comes to this manifestation here. Show me what I need to see. Because remember, the magician can also be trickery. Okay, over on Facebook, you guys, I can see Facebook comments as well, okay? Over there on Facebook, you guys, I know that a lot of the tarot readers over there are unapproved tarot readers, and they do free questions for experience. You guys, I'm an intuitive light worker. I don't need to practice. I don't even need the cards to do what I'm doing, okay? I use the cards to be able to show you, to kind of be able to create a little bit more interaction with you, okay? My gift does not come from the cards. So ultimately what you're getting over there, I'm sorry to even jump around you guys, but ultimately what you're getting over there is people who have probably bought in their own decks. Decks are supposed to be gifted, okay? It's important to understand, yes, you can buy gifts, but you need to be gifted your first deck. So over on Facebook, I know they're kind of doing things totally different. These readings are my free readings. And of course, the way these readings lay down is the way they lay down. I don't ask personal questions. So if you do want a personal question, again, my email is in the description box. Just send me an email and be like, hey, Empress Egypt, I would like a price list. For those of you guys on Facebook, my email is in the description up above, okay? Here on YouTube, down below, okay? All right, so clarifying what's going on with this manifestation, overall advice from Spirit, overall messages from Spirit when it comes to, again, the manifestation of the masculine energy, the manifestation of the balance of masculine and feminine within you, and ultimately the divine connection leading to the 3D connection, right? The union in the actual 3D world, okay? Overall advice is forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. What have I been saying? Go back through the comments. Angel, what did we say, right? Be the change that you expect. Don't expect this person to change because this person may never change. Don't expect this person that you are literally really depressed over. Don't expect them to change. Be the change that you expect them to be. Lead by example. Woo, I love that. That is so beautiful. Protection. You're protected here. Look, star bathing came out, right? The activation. The mother's milk, you nurturing yourself and having that deep love, that deep cleansing emotionally and physically. Look, We have you are never alone here. And now we have the protection card. The protection card is this energy of you creating the boundaries, you creating the defense and protecting yourself, protecting the jewels that you have within, the jewels that you had to go through this fucked up relationship to get, the jewels that you had to be abandoned by your father to get. Do you get what I'm saying? This shit didn't come easy. I don't think anybody will agree that this shit came easy for you. This shit was hard for you to get. It was very hard for you to create those diamonds from that coal, from the dirt, right? It's about calling back your power. It's about cutting those cords with these toxic relationships that are only holding you back, okay? It's called soul retrieval. It's you getting your power back. It's you getting your soul back. It's you activating that self-activation, okay? We also have get grounded. Ironically, I don't feel like you need to get grounded. I feel like honestly you've been a little bit too grounded to where it's created stagnation. It's created stubbornness because again, your comfort here, right? Honestly, what I feel by this get grounded is I feel more of this energy of, again, with all the activation and all the awakening, that deep cellular healing and physical healing here. I really feel like honestly, it's that empathic energy, right? It's the being the empath. Remember what I was saying? We absorb energy. We are energy. Energy radiates and bounces off one another. That's what this card is talking about. This card is talking about the energy. Be that energy that you want, right? Be the change that you want. Connect with nature if you need to. Go outside. Go take a stroll through the park. Read a book in the park. 10 minutes of sun is actually recommended for cancer patients. That should tell you something. Most people think that you just get cancer from the sun. It's too much sun. But you need the sun just as much as the plants need the sun. This is why I don't really agree with this damn pandemic that much. Not saying that, I wanted the pandemic. I'm just saying you need to go outside. 10 minutes a day, feel the sun. Sit on the ground. Roll around in the grass. Play in the sprinkler. Go swimming in a river. Go down to the beach. Dig your feet into the sand. Pick that sand up in your hand. Become one with nature and the earth that you are. Be grounded in a different way. Feel the energy of the sand. Feel the energy of the water. Feel the energy and the vibration of the trees. Feel the energy of home, okay? We get so caught up again in the 3D of things that we get really blindsided. We get really that tunnel vision of the house, right? The cars, the outfits, the purses, the food, the music. The list can go on and on. The social media, the phones. This is why I tell you, put your phones down. Stop watching tarot readings. Live life. You asking for questions and seeking questions in the tarot readings, if it's not growing you as an individual, if you're sitting on a couch crying more and even more depressed, put down your phone. Go outside, do something, live, smell the air, okay? Do not stay consumed in your homes, especially in this pandemic. If you're confined to your home, don't stay indoors, go outside, breathe that damn air, play in a sprinkler, fill up some water balloons, throw them at your kids, do whatever you gotta do. Have a good time. Don't make yourself sick with depression, okay? Call. Again, man, a lot of you guys have some really, I feel like a lot of you guys on right now are literally empaths. Maybe some of you guys are even intuitive. Maybe you guys are just spiritual in a sense. Maybe you guys do tarot yourself. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of this energy with you guys. So I do feel like those of you guys who are on, you guys know what it is, okay? Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up, okay? You're being called here very strongly, okay? I feel this energy more than I feel the negative shit you've been through. I feel this. I feel like I'm talking to myself here. I feel like I'm talking to someone who has been through the same scenarios as me and who has been activated because of this grief, because of this loss, because of this, the challenges and the issues, the depression, and again, this fear of being alone, this fear of not knowing what to do. This is what's activating you. If I had enough money, I would sit there and buy you guys all personally a tarot deck and gift it to you guys. because this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like maybe some of you guys are called to be motivational speakers. I feel like maybe some of you guys are being called to step up in the sense of maybe you're supposed to be doing what I'm doing. Maybe you're supposed to be using your cell phone and recording videos to encourage people to do something positive for themselves. I'm feeling this very strongly, okay? You are being called to step up. You know what your gifts are. You know it. You feel it. There's something you've been wanting to do, and it's the spirit confirming it. It's time to step up, okay? So as far as manifestation goes, this is what you got to do. And I feel like this even applies to what we've been talking about in this whole reading. Be the change that you expect, right? Don't expect your father to come back and actually work on things. Don't expect this person, this emperor, to come back and sweep you off your feet. It's time for you to sweep yourself off your feet. It's time for you to be the stability that you never had. It's time for you to step up, okay? All right, last card, you guys. Let's get overall messages for this childhood trauma here, okay? This masculine energy that did not work hard on this family situation, okay? This person that wasn't clear, this person that made you feel like this person that never took action. Wow. Again, the boundaries is coming out a second time, okay? You have abandonment issues and codependency issues because of this, whatever this is, okay? Whatever this adolescence lack of with this masculine energy, again, it doesn't mean it has to be your father. This can be your mother. This can be a brother, a sister, a friend. It's something that feels like a family, like somebody very close to you that is no longer here. There was no work, no effort put in, no action taken, and you hoped and wished for this. Remember, this is that childhood trauma. Spirit's saying that you had codependency issues because of this. So you carried this codependency into this relationship. So I feel like Spirit's trying to tell you the reason you're not actually thinking, like you think you're thinking right about the situation, but you're not. Because you had boundaries when you you never had boundaries when you stepped into the situation. You were carrying the baggage from this wish fulfillment that was never fulfilled, the manifestation of not having this tight knit family, the work put into this family concept, the lack of a home life in some way, shape, or form here, okay? Again, remember, it doesn't mean that this person had to leave. It's just that literally this is that energy. You know what I'm saying? That energy of even if they were in the home, it was like they never really worked hard on it, okay? Because of that, you felt like you would never have somebody that would be stable. You felt like anytime a masculine energy came into your presence, you had to hold on to them very hard because they were going to do the same thing. They weren't going to work hard. Or a part of you, without knowing, didn't realize that that's why you were holding on to them, because this person didn't work hard. Your father or this uncle or this mother or this brother, whoever this is, okay? They didn't work hard on this situation, this family unit, and ultimately you carried this baggage with you. It created codependency. So you depended on this person to be the stability that this person wasn't, to be the hardworking person that this person wasn't. But it was created for you to create these boundaries. Same thing. So you had the boundaries card for this person, and now you're having a boundaries card for this adolescence person too, okay? Few more minutes, you guys, and we'll be done. I know this went into a really long reading. You can see it in my eyes. I'm getting sucked of energy, literally. All right, dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Exactly. What did I say? You have to finally just take that step out. You have to finally just put yourself out there on the line, take a leap of faith, take the action, and change things. You actually just have to put it into manifestation now. I feel like you've thought about it for a long time. You've thought about this change happening for a really long time, but you've never just put action to it. You've never actually took the action. Like I said, for me, it was writing on a whiteboard, okay, that really activated me. Seeing it on the daily. I still drink my 4 glasses of water, which I'm up way more. But my point is that I didn't even have to erase it and put a higher number because it became subconscious. By seeing it every day, it ultimately became subconscious, okay? So dance with life, right? Do something to change your life. Whether it's taking up a hobby that you've been wanting to do, whether it's cleaning out your closet, reorganizing your home, starting a YouTube channel, doing tarot readings, whether it's just being a motivational speaker, whatever it is that you feel like you've been wanting to do, I feel like this is Spirit telling you, go for it. Change that energy. You've been in this negative funk, turn it around, straight up, okay? The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. Holy shit, you guys. Like every single one of these cards, like literally, I feel like a lot of you guys on here are intuitive. I feel like you guys are empaths. I feel like you guys know what the hell your awakening is happening. Something is activated in you, and I feel like it's been activated for a while. You just haven't taken action. You haven't actually said, you know what? I've got a phone. I'm pretty sure, again, you do have to be gifted tarot, but at the same time, who am I to knock you? Who am I to say that you can't buy yourself a deck of tarot cards and practice with them, okay? I don't know what this calling is for you, but you know what it is, okay? You know, you feel it. You've been getting these hits, and you're seeing it all come together. Ironically, you're seeing it happen right in front of you. Yep, the golden child. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And it's funny because it's clarifying this adolescence, right? What happened in this adolescence. Look, when this person didn't work hard on the family life, on the home life, when this person somewhat abandoned you or made you feel like you were abandoned or you weren't worth being worked for, again, this is the baggage you started to carry with you without all these relationships, okay? But this energy here is saying, hey, look, during this innocence, during this tenderness, facing that inner child will make you see that you have rare gifts. I feel like you're supposed to address this original issue here. I feel like there was something in here during this time frame that you're not acknowledging. I feel like it's like you knew this person wasn't going to work hard. You were having, it's like as much as you wish this person wasn't that, it's like you already knew this person wasn't that. Does that make sense? I feel like at this age, even you knew at that age that you had rare gifts. The gifts to foresee, the gifts to feel energy, the gifts to get those intuitive hits. Maybe you know what it is that you've been called to do since this age. Maybe you see things that normal people don't. Maybe you hear things that normal people don't. Look, for me, I don't actually hear voices in my ear. When I say I'm hearing this or I'm seeing this, it's because it's like it's being imprinted into my head. Let me give you guys an example because this is basically it for the reading, okay? And then I'll close this reading out, you guys. I had lived a rough life because I chose to live a rough life, not because the rough life was handed to me, okay? I just had, it's not that I had a broken family, it's just that both of my parents were working parents. I never saw them. So ultimately, there was a lot of things that I faced alone, okay? So from bullying to heartache to all of it. Ultimately, I chose to live the drug life. I chose to live on the streets. I chose to hop around, not be stable. I chose to escape with drugs, okay? Basically, call it divine intervention. My path was not fated, but destined to end up in prison, okay? And I say prison, I mean county jail because I didn't make it that far, okay? I literally sat in county for about 5 months. But during that process, I lost everything materialistically. My apartment, my car, all of my belongings inside my house. And to sit there in jail and to literally think about everybody just going through your shit and having a free-for-all, right? Not opening your doors and giving it away for free, but people breaking in and taking it, okay? Found myself opening a Bible and seeking answers from the Bible. And I was spoken to throughout the Bible the entire time, okay? I would ask a question, and I did the thing that most people said not to do. You know, you don't ask God for a question and then open the Bible. You're not supposed to use it like you do tarot, right? Because again, this is conformality. Things have been taken out of the Bible, the Old Testament, as well as the Quran, to conform and to remove power in the hands of beings, okay? I know, it's fucked up. I don't want to take you down that rabbit hole. I apologize. My point is that I had been tried throughout the whole time, okay? God tested me when it came to that prison. I had anger issues, okay? The drugs did not help. The alcohol did not help. my biggest issue was facing the fact that I had this perception on things I could touch: money, cars, clothes, drugs, all of it, right? Sex. There was just a lot of things. I was really consumed in the things that I could see, the things I could touch, the things I could feel, smell, eat. You get what I'm saying? The tangible things. So my biggest test in there was literally my aggression. Somebody would pop off to me, and the next thing you would know, I was getting into a fight and being stuck in isolation because I had a fucking mouth and I had fists. Straight up. Not tooting my own horn again. I'm just saying, because of the toxic energy that had built up in me, because of the suppression of my emotions, the not addressing my shadows, it led me to addictions. My addictions were worse than yours, okay? And maybe you guys had addictions like mine too. I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying, when I was tapping into this energy had to do with the way you're thinking about your emotions. For me, again, I used, instead of controlling my emotions and the thought of my emotions, I automatically went to drugs, okay? So again, I was tested all throughout jail, okay? Again, with my aggression. And ultimately, you know, I would have to sit there and say, and look up and be like, okay, I got you. All right. Woosah, right? Let that shit go. Let it go. Let it go, right? Just let that shit go, right? So again, my battles were probably different from yours. We all have different situations and different issues we work on. So for me, my intuitive download, my first, I mean, obviously I didn't realize it when I was asking God questions and opening the Bible, and literally, because look, let me tell you about one story really quick. I know I'm going off, you guys, but one story really quickly during the time before I got released, is there was this little 18-year-old girl that had gotten locked up, okay? In the very beginning, I judged her very badly because she got locked up for prostitution. And so my fucked up mentality at that time was like, damn, she's selling her, you know what? Like, that's so disgusting. Like, I was being really fucked up because I still hadn't been tried and I still didn't understand what things were, right? So I had already found God and I had already had the Bible, because when you're locked up, you have lots of time, okay? Lots of time. Especially losing my kids too. And I don't mean physically losing them. I'm just saying, when I got locked up, I couldn't see my kids. The county jail I was at didn't allow kids to come in, okay? So I couldn't see my kids. I wouldn't want my kids to see me there anyways, okay? That's just me. Anyways, my point is, you guys, I apologize. I judged this little girl and didn't even ask God a question and open up the Bible this time. Literally, I was just reading from a point that I had left off in the Bible, and I believe it was actually in the New Testament, okay? Not the Old Testament, because I read both repeatedly over and over again. But in the New Testament, and I don't even remember what part it is, I want to say it's Romans, it may have been John, but ultimately, and shit, no, I even think it was, excuse my language, I think it was even Job or whatever, and maybe you guys know, when I believe he's talking about the concubines, right? The story of the concubines, the prostitutes. And there's this part where, and literally my mouth about dropped, and I was like, haha, okay, I got you, right? Because it was this, here I am judging this 18-year-old old girl for prostitution, okay? Keep in mind, I had had a few sex partners, never got anything from them, right? I never made money by having sex with men. Matter of fact, if anything, I would have sex with a man and lose my heart, right? Lose my emotions, because I would fall in love the second I had sex, right? I would lose everything, right? I would lose all control of my emotions, right? I was in some fucked up situations, okay? But ultimately, I gave my shit away for free. I left my doors open and allowed people to take everything. So I'm reading the Bible, and it talks about the story of the concubines, and it says, who are you to judge the prostitute? At least she made money. And let me tell you something. My mouth about dropped, and I was like, that's actually a good fucking point. Here I am, having sex with men, expecting to have a long-term relationship. And I say sex with men, it was a few men, but my point is that I had this concept that if I made love to a man, that this man would love me and we would live happily ever after together, and I would have everything that I could possibly want. The reality of it was, is once the man took that sex, they took my emotions and my heart with them, right? I never had anything else left. So it made sense, okay? Now, fast forward to the ending, 5 months into it, a lot of battles. I was supposed to get out of jail before Christmas, before Thanksgiving. Shit, matter of fact, I thought I was going to be getting out around Halloween time. So it went from Halloween time to all of a sudden Thanksgiving to all of a sudden Christmas. And then I actually got released January 23rd, not 27th. Okay. So anyways, again, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations in a different way from maybe some of you guys with this situation. But ultimately, it's the last day, okay? And matter of fact, it was the day before, no, not the last day. The day before the last day they told me I was being released, I literally had my mat rolled up, right? I took all of my little deodorants, my toothbrushes. I had made paints in there. If any of you guys have been in jail, you understand what I'm talking about. You have to take the inside of the mat pencil, like you literally have to crack the wood and get the middle. This is so embarrassing, but I feel like you guys need to hear this. I would take that middle lining out of the mat pencils, like break the wood and get the actual, the actual color part out of the middle. And if you add it to water, eventually it'll change the water and you can like mash it up and turn it into paint. Yes, I hustled in there, okay? I was selling envelopes using toothbrushes to do like splatter paint. Girl was creative in prison, okay? I'm a mother. It was very easy for me. My point is that the day before I was getting released, I had all my shit wrapped up, had all my stuff in the vanilla envelopes, like ready to go, you know what I'm saying? And I forgot for a minute what I had learned. And I was like, woohoo, I got this. I can't wait to get out. I can't wait to smoke a cigarette. I can't wait to smoke a blunt. Already my mindset was already in the 3D world and I hadn't even been released yet. All of a sudden, the officer comes in and they're like, hey, Vasquez, you're not getting out. What do you mean I'm not getting out? Something happened. You'll be released tomorrow. So again, I was put back in that, all right, God, I got you. I was jumping ahead of myself. I was already thinking about the 3D world and I had already forgotten about the message he was trying to give me, right? I know I have a lot of stories, right? So that last day, yes, girl, yes, I used it for eyeliner, lipstick, all of it. Girl, I even took thread out of the damn pillowcase and I was threading bitches' brows in there, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I had so much commissary and I had people put money on my book, so I was exchanging commissary, hooking people up that didn't have money. I'm telling you, I straight hustled in jail. So anyways, I'm sitting there in my last day, right? This is finally the day. Rolled up my mat. This time I rolled up my mat and all my shit and I'm leaning against my mat and I have that Bible in front of me and that Bible's closed, okay? By this time I had read the Old Testament and the New Testament probably about 6 or 7 times. Literally I was in isolation. So because I couldn't deal with the bickering and the fighting, I would get into fights. And again, girl has hands. So I would get in trouble. I would get put in isolation because I was the toxic person. I was the negative energy. I was storing all that toxic energy within. And so when someone would do something, I would retaliate in a fucked up way. So ultimately, I was always stuck in isolation. I had lots of time on my hands. No TV in isolation, okay? No radio, straight up just what you have is what you have, whether it's books, paintings, drawings, whatever it is that you're gonna do, okay? You have no interaction. They let you go out into the yard with one person from isolation, and it was actually the little girl who had been in trouble for prostitution. Ended up falling in love with this little girl, and we still have her, and I don't mean falling in love with her like that, but just literally, man, I'm so proud of her and where she's come in life. So another fucking story, excuse my language. Last day I'm in there. Again, that Bible's on my lap, and this is what I'm trying to tell you about. It's not like I hear voices, okay? It's the fact that I was sitting there, and it's funny that the lead by example came through in here because I'm sitting there, my mat's rolled up, my stuff's in front of me, the Bible's on my lap, and I said, okay, God. I said, this is it. I said, and I'm scared shitless. And I've always talked to God the same way I'm talking to you guys, okay? I've never, felt like my words to God. God knows what I'm saying? God knows my heart, okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, anything else that you want to show me? Anything else that I need to know? Because I had to deal with some situations that created a lot of that anger, controlling issues, just stuff that was going on that goes deeper than some of this stuff, okay? So ultimately, I knew that when I went out into the 3D world, I had to go back to the drama, the difficult choice versus the easier choice. I had to face those shadows. I knew it. I couldn't go back to drugs, the escape, right? That I had to go face the problems for what they were. So my issue was asking spirit, asking divine, any last words for me. And I can't explain it. I went to go put my hand on the Bible to open it, and it was like something had me close it. And I'm not saying something took my hand and closed it. It was just something in me said, you know what? No, I know. I got this, right? I got this. And the next thing I know, it was like a stamp had been stamped into my mind, and it said, lead by example. That's how I get my intuition. This is how I get my hits. It's not like I hear somebody in my ear. It's not like I see this ghost next to me telling me, hey, say this, say that. It's that I see the words. I don't see them. I see them in here. Does that make sense? So I feel like this rare gift, this intuitive hit that you're getting can be something as simple as that, right? Seeing it or feeling it, right? Or seeing numbers over and over again, or hearing the same song over and over again, or seeing somebody that you know you've never met a day in your life, but when you look at them, you get that feeling, either good or bad. You get what I'm saying? Have you ever seen someone and you look at them and it's like you've seen them somewhere else before and they've done something really bad to you? I don't know if you've ever had that kind of experience, but it's happened to me many of times. But I know I've been all over the place with this reading. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an experience of some of my intuitive hits, because I feel like a lot of people think that intuitive hits are going to be something that is like, you know what I'm saying, like really crazy, like, you know, smoke, lights, you know, God coming down and speaking to you, you know. It's one of those things, like I want you to think, you know, I don't want you to think it's something that it's not, because these intuitive hits can be something as simple as you just saying, you know what, I have this idea, I need to do it. Like having this urgency to, hey, Peter, yes. So with that being said, you guys, that's all I pretty much have for you in this reading. I know I kind of went into a little bit of personal experience. Hopefully you guys can relate and understand what I was referring to. Not only that, but when I'm live like this, you know, it's good just talking with you guys so that you guys can understand who I am and where I've been and what my intentions are with my channel, because I think it's really important when it comes down to the healing process, okay? So with that being said, that's all I have for you guys. A few things before I go. Don't forget, you guys, I am having my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I know I took 2 weeks off, so my channel stayed kind of stagnant. But just understand now that I'm back uploading, we should hit 1,000 subscribers pretty quick, okay? Hopefully within the month we'll reach 1,000 subscriber. If not, hopefully by the beginning of September, August. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, if you want to be entered in any of my giveaways, all you have to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel. So for those of you guys who are on Facebook, if you haven't hopped over to my YouTube channel, I believe the link is up above. If not, if you just hit like one of my YouTube videos, it should take you to YouTube. If you guys go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, or if you are already subscribed, that's automatically an entry to any of my giveaways, okay? Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, because that's where I announce the winner. Sometimes I upload extra stuff there too, like, you know, my favorite snacks or just a funny quote or meme or something. I also share some of my videos on there, but ultimately I'm more active on Instagram, on YouTube, more than Facebook and more than Twitter. But you guys, I have a Pinterest where I have lots of photos of nails, hair, all that stuff. I was a cosmetologist, so of course I incorporate beauty. Also too, on my Instagram, you will see that I am CEO of Awoke Cosmos. I haven't uploaded any pictures yet. I'm still working behind the scenes. I'm launching my bath line first, which is going to be milk baths, lotion bars, bath bombs. I was going to do bath salts, but I chose not to. I'm going to be selling bath fizz powder. I'm also going to be selling basically like this moulash of everything. It's like a bath bomb, it's a milk bath, and it's bath salts all combined, okay? So it's going to be called my Bath Rituals line. All of my oils have been infused. I've infused them all. Not only do I infuse my own oils, but they sit under the sun and the moon, so they are solar charged as well as lunar charged. All of my oils basically sit bathing in the sun for over 30 days, okay? So just understand that there is a ritual part behind my bath line. So I want you guys to know, because over on, again, Instagram, you will see that I am CEO of Woke Cosmos. just understand that I haven't taken any pictures or put anything up because I'm still in the making process. And I'm contemplating doing a subscription box or selling the items individually, okay? So I'm still in the creation of things, but understand that when you see that and there's no pictures, it's not like it's not there. It's just that I'm working behind the scenes, okay, you guys? Also, too, I am going to be offering a shout out for other tarot readers. I know I'm not a huge tarot reader, and I'm not trying to say and act like I'm like famous or anything, but I have noticed a few tarot readers that have under like 50 subscribers. So I do want to give them, look, someone else helped me out. I believe it was Tarot Time with Dana. She was really awesome. She was telling tarot readers, hey, if you want a shout out, do a personal reading and I'll pick a few people. And she actually picked me out of a few people. So I was really thankful she gave me a shout out. And actually my channel grew pretty good because of her. So yes, that's a thank you to her. But this is also something that I want to do, even though my subscriber count's not that high. I feel like it can help somebody out. So definitely make sure you guys can follow me on Instagram, especially if you're a tarot reader, because I will be doing that shout out over there with all the directions on how to get a possible shout out, okay? So I think that's pretty much it, you guys. Again, as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll announce the winner over on Instagram. Again, just make sure you're subscribed for your chance to enter. I randomly choose. If you've already won, you cannot win again, okay? I think that's pretty much it, you guys. Oh my God, almost 3 hours. I apologize. I love you guys. It got pretty late. I will be back on tomorrow morning. Time-wise, it'll probably be before 2, maybe even before 1, and then we'll get on late again at night. Remember, you guys, I'm going to go live once early in the morning. Well, not early, but mid-early lunch, kind of maybe late lunch, early afternoon, something like that, and then I'll do one at late night too, okay? So that somehow you guys eventually catch my lives, for those of you guys watching on replay, okay? Not the ones who are live with me. Obviously, you guys caught me live. I am going to go over the comments really quick, you guys, and make sure I didn't miss any questions, okay? Let's see. Okay. Hey, Johnny, I already said hi. Obviously, Angel, I have been chatting with you for a little bit. Again, I just want to make sure. Stuck more financially. Okay. So same thing can happen. You know, I feel like honestly too, just before I move on and end this, remember, not having stability and manifestation at a young age, and even not manifesting in a love connection, can create those baggage, that luggage, and ultimately it can weigh you down so you're not manifesting financially, okay? So just remember that these shadows is because that is the blockages. That's what's stopping you from actually manifesting, okay? And usually the things that block you from manifesting have nothing to do with the situation. Like for me, like what I told you, you know, about being lost in a supermarket and having to wear a damn leash as a child was literally something that was really damaging for me later on that I had no idea. I had forgotten about because it wasn't a big issue, you know what I'm saying? And again, I never saw pictures either of me in a leash, so it wasn't a constant reminder until my sister said something. Exactly. All right, you guys. I think that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Why are you seeing through my shit? I saw a question mark, so I was like, oh, question. I'm not seeing through your shit. Spirit's seeing through your shit. Spirit sees you all the time. You know, divine always sees what you do, you know. Yep. All right, you guys. So I think that's pretty much it. I think we have a few more comments. Denny, or Day, if you're still on, hopefully you heard me say about personal readings and my general collective readings. My collective readings are free. And I think that's it, you guys. Sorry, I know I'm all like, huh? I can't see. I'm getting too old. I need glasses. All right, you guys. Awesome. Thank you, Angel. Hey, JC. You're definitely welcome, JC. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Yeah, okay, so I think, Angel, you're the one that's in a relationship still, right? Yeah, I totally get where you're at. Maybe this is why Spirit's telling you here that you got to do something for yourself. You got to take, even if, like, don't literally take this step forward or the choice to take a new path doesn't mean that you physically have to leave a relationship to start a new path. You can start a new path within. You can start a new path within your own, you know what I'm saying, the things that you want, your financial situation. If you're codependent on someone, that's the worst position to be in because your opinion doesn't matter. You can't contribute, okay? You can't, and it doesn't matter how much someone loves you. Ultimately, when you're in a relationship where you bring no source of income, or you can't really contribute to bills or anything like that, it can destroy pretty much any relationship. And it's not that you're a bad person for it. It's that you don't understand, or you didn't understand, and maybe you still have a hard time. Well, obviously you don't have a hard time with it because you know you need to get out of this situation by being dependent on yourself and not someone else. This is why I say it's really important to fully work on yourself as an individual, to be able to take care of yourself, to be able to make decisions. The wealth around you comes from the wealth within. So again, if you don't value yourself, if you don't face these emotions for what they are, if you don't slowly start changing the way you think, you'll never change the way you manifest. So again, if these emotions are holding you back from fully taking a step to actually changing something around you, again, whether it's you turning on your phone and speaking to someone, or whether doing tarot, or whether just telling a story, I will tell you, YouTube is not easy, okay? I've had a few channels before this channel and they all failed miserably. And I'm talking about 2 years of doing a lot of work, research, being really consistent, and just being in a terrible, shitty niche. I tried to do beauty, all right? I tried to do makeup tutorials, and let me tell you, it was too cutthroat of an industry. None of my videos ever even got views. Literally, the only reason this channel is somewhat working is because I found something that found me. Does that make sense? I didn't go looking for this. It came to me, and I don't mean that it came to me like that. I started YouTube channel. This came to me a while ago. I've always had intuition. I'm talking about the cards, the story, right? The imagery of the story. It's easier for you to see a card and understand the story behind the imagery. It's like a storybook, right? It's like a book that you open to read a story. Ultimately, you're seeing imagery. So it makes it a little bit easier to understand it. But again, the energy that I feel is the energy that I feel. I can explain to you and compare my stories and tell you things. So again, just because, you know, you have to find, I don't want you to think it's going to be super easy, especially to start a YouTube channel. So if you do have any questions, if you are trying to start a YouTube channel, right now is the time. This is the niche, because this niche is going to blow up. And when this niche blows up, you're going to have a hard time getting into this algorithm. I know it's probably speaking Spanglish to you, but or speaking a foreign language, but yeah, ultimately, you know, you just have to find out what it is that you're being pulled to do, and you have to be willing to take that risk, okay? Because right now you're losing regardless. So even though you're afraid to take a step in a new path, whether it's for you doing something from home, going and getting just a small job, you know, at the local grocery store right now, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to give you a little bit more of independence, to where you can at least say, you know what, hey, I can save $200 a month. I can save $300 a month. You know, for me, tarot readings are a great source of income. I'm able to get by. I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to pay the bills and invest in a business. So, you know, I'm never knocking something like this. But for me, I absolutely love doing it. You know what I'm saying? I feel this. It was something that landed on my lap. Because again, when I started my YouTube channel, like I said, way back when, it was a beauty. And I put so much, dude, I would do makeup reviews, makeup tutorials. I would show you how to do hair, and it never took off. I deleted the channel. You'll never find it. It was very embarrassing, okay? It was before I really had a ring light, before I actually invested in a webcam that was nice, or a mic. You know, this is stuff that I've worked on for 2 years. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. I mean, I went from spending $60 on a ring light to spending $200 on a webcam. And it took me forever to save up that money because, again, I was in the same situation as you. 2 years ago, I was fully dependent on someone taking care of me, paying the bills. I felt like I never could contribute. I could never say, well, let me help you. Let me do this. I felt like no matter how much I cleaned the house, or how much I did the laundry, or cooked the meals, or took care of everything, I still felt like I wasn't enough because I couldn't contribute financially. So again, the this is where you depend on somebody. So I know where you're at. I know where you've been. You know, it's knowing that it's feeling like you don't have a say so, feeling like someone doesn't actually value you because you bring no value. But again, it's the way you see it. It's the way you think about it. It's the way you feel about it, okay? That's not the concept. The concept is that you can change that. You can start by saying, you know what? I want to bake cakes. I mean, I know during the pandemic it's a little bit hard, but there's got to be something out there for you, okay? Again, just make a goal. For me, I chose to never give up. I chose to say, you know what? Being a YouTuber is what I want to do because I know with my situation, with my 4 kids, with everything that goes on in my life and how busy of a person I am with these kids, I wanted to work from home. I was able and blessed. Okay, this is how you have to look at it, Angel. I'm speaking to Angel, but obviously there's a few of you guys on here, so you're hearing this and you're relating to this. If you are, again, in a codependent relationship depending on someone, you have to remember to not only look at it on the downside that you can't contribute, but you also have to look at it from the opposite side, in the concept of not that this person's looking at you like you can't contribute, but in the concept of not a lot of people even get that opportunity to not have to work. Does that make sense? For the longest time, I always looked at my situation like, damn, I can't do shit. I don't have money. I can't contribute. I never looked at it like, damn, this is a great opportunity for me to try hard and to create an income for my own. So that's how you have to look at it, okay? You have to try to see the opportunities within the challenges, the problems, all right? All right, you guys, I love you. Stay blessed. Blessed be. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, okay? I got to get to bed. I didn't realize it's already midnight. All right, you guys. So hopefully this helped you in some way, shape, or form. I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, like, share, comment, do all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how this relates for you. Let me know how it related to your situation and how it's helped you to possibly see a new path, okay? And if you feel like in a few weeks it hasn't really done anything, please comment on my videos and let me know, because that means I need to change something up so that you can see something in a different way, okay? All right. Good night, you guys. I love you. Bye.